pro-Palestinian on campuses with increasingly violent state retaliation. I went on Piers Morgan and got very mad. Encampments all over. TikTok ban. I will come and potentially support the USC encampment. Mike Johnson, Walking Dead. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the UT Austin one in a second. Hold on. Joe Biden posted a TikTok after that. That's nice. Of course he did. I feel like there's not, like, USC is gonna be less radical than like Columbia. You know what I mean? I feel like Columbia has like a long history of anti-war protests and also like very aggressive action against said anti-war protesters. So like Harvard students has said fuck the admin and have started taking the yard. Yeah, we'll talk about all of that. Hold on one second. Pro-Palestinian protests erupt on campuses with increasingly violent state retaliation. I went on Piers Morgan who got very mad. Encampments all over. TikTok ban. At lol, I make lol overruled. Watch Beyond Scared Straight. There it is. Brianna Wu's response been unhinged. Yo, fuck Brianna Wu, bro. What the fuck does she know? That fucking dumbass. That's the problem. Like, every single one of these like pro-Israeli people, with the exception of some who are just like diehard nutters, every single one of these like pro-Israeli people are doing it for fucking career opportunities, man. That's it. The reason why these people chirp about Israel in the way that they do is 100% for fucking career opportunities. I mean, K1 said it best. Brianna Wu posted, why would I ever defund the police when they're about to help these spoiled children face the consequences for the first time in their privileged anti-Semitic $80,000 a year tuition lives? And it's like, bro, you're literally a fucking privileged asshat. What are you talking about? Kayvon says, this arc has been fascinating to me. An unremarkable white woman who realized she's disappearing in obscurity, so she sees the opportunity by espousing the most internally incoherent, incendiary views. Modern day Zionism isn't about moral righteousness. It's about careerism. That's it. Also, anyone who says I'm a progressive, but this is disruptive protest is full of the most rancid shit. One, disruption is the very point of protest. Two, you're not a progressive. This is literally what Reagan thought about the UC protest in the 60s. Okay, I didn't know this. So funny to call someone else privileged and spoiled. Yep. How does she have the last name Wu? She married an Asian dude. And I guess like transitive property makes her Asian. I don't know. It's very strange. Like, okay, so I guess Riley Reid can say the N-word then. Like, what do you mean? You know? It don't work that way. Okay? She can't. And Brianna Wu is not Asian. Like, that's like a meme that every dumb guy has made when like Riley Reid's like N-word rapping video popped off. And everyone was like, well, she's taking enough black dicks. And it's like, that's not how this works. Okay? That's not how this works at all. Brianna Wu, someone said Brianna Wu says Asian as Scarlett Johansson is. Agreed. Anyway, I don't even know what the fuck we're talking about with this because who gives a shit? It is pretty funny to think though, like it is an objectively white person thing to do. Is like most people who are not white are, as a consequence of like wanting to improve their careers, trying to fucking be more white. You know what I mean? Nikki Haley. It's not Nimrata, it's Nikki Haley. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, only white people are out here being like, I'm actually a quarter Cherokee. You don't know about this, but like, you know, I'm it's a objectively white people shit to be like, I'm actually not white. Please. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna talk about the fucking eye stabbing shit too, which I didn't even know was going on because I'm not on Twitter, so I'm not like as clued in on the latest and greatest metas, right? But it turns out people were saying like someone got stabbed in the eye, like a Jewish counter protester got stabbed in the eye in an anti-Semitic incident. Hold on. You know what? I'm actually just going to read you the article before I show you the fucking actual video of the situation, because I want you to understand how consent is manufactured in the most nutty ways possible. Okay? Because I want to show you just the journalistic malpractice that these guys consider to be valid. I mean, it should be criminal. In the real world, in an honest world where the job of journalists is to actually show us the truth, this kind of coverage should be illegal. Okay? I would literally throw you in prison if I was in a position of power if you wrote article titles like this one. Jewish Yale student stabbed in the eye with Palestinian flag during protests. That's from the New York Post. Fox News, Jewish Yale student stabbed in the eye with Palestinian flag during rowdy protests, mob behavior. Times of India. Jewish Yale student stabbed in the eye with Palestine flag during anti-Israel protests. Reporting, Jewish student at Yale stabbed in the eye with Palestinian flag. Horror as female Jewish Yale student claims she was stabbed in the eye with Palestinian flag on campus. More. Washington Examiner, Jewish Yale student stabbed in the eye. Piers joined the Nazi party. Times of Israel. Dozens arrested at Yale, Columbia. Pauses in-person classes. Burn Tel Aviv calls. Cops Yale arrest violent anti-Israel protesters after Jewish student journalist stabbed in the eye from the college fakes. First of all, they're making it seem like the cops are arresting the pro-Palestinian students because they fucking stabbed a Jewish student in the eye. Okay? So what actually happened? Oh, wait, there's more. I was stabbed in the eye at Yale. The school has allowed anti-Israel students to run roughshod over the most basic policies. Yesterday, I paid the price for their inaction. She also went on Fox News, obviously, to do a fucking interview. And you might notice something really funny here. This is after the fact. It's not like she has precog and knew that she was going to get stabbed in the fucking eye. This is after the fact. So maybe you might be thinking to yourself, what eye was the eye that you got stabbed on?
I've taken over a central plaza on campus.
I'm seeing two eyes right now. Which eye?
Up, among other things, a tent encampment, a memorial.
She should have had the decency to get a fucking eye patch, even though she objectively did not get stabbed in the eye. Now, why am I being so fucking confident in this story?
To a terrorist.
Well, because I saw the goddamn video.
Walid Daka, who led the mutilation and murder.
Look at the replies. The victim wrote an article calling couscous salad a hate crime. Yeah, this is the same. By the way, she's like a psycho right-wing agitator. Of course she is. Because of course she fucking is. Of course she fucking is. She's the one who said that the, Israeli couscous was turned into couscous. Okay? Imagine returning to your dining hall to find that salad labels were renamed to remove mention of the salads being Israeli. That happened at Yale this week. It's the subtle changes and redactions that are the most pernicious. In her article, she says the EMC recommended she go to the hospital. So if she was indeed injured to the point she claims, why didn't the EMT take her to the hospital themselves instead of recommending she go? Yeah. Sahar Fartak. Okay. She lied about the salad thing. Of course she did. Of course she did. There is nothing that you can actually cling on to with genuine grievances. So of course you just fucking lie because the media is going to eat that shit up as they did. So you want to know now? You want to know now that we saw the coverage, like so many articles being like, dude, like you would think. And I know people, like I know people that are not as tapped in, that only see like the headlines and shit. They think Jews are being stabbed in the fucking eye deliberately on college campuses. Like they are whipping up hysteria. They literally think like there is a dedicated effort to killing Jewish students on college campuses, if not for the motherfucking police. Okay? So just understand, and it doesn't come out of nowhere. It comes out of this shit, right? Someone just objectively lies. The media doesn't do its job. Rather, it does the job that it's designed to do, manufacture consent. Okay? Are you guys ready for this? Trigger warning. What you're about to see is, well, why does it say safe for work? Hold on. Video of the eye stabbing incident at Yale. Trigger warning. You're about to see an anti-Semitic hate crime of the utmost level of violence. If you blink, you might actually not see it, for the record. I'm giving you a content warning, even though this subreddit obviously loves gore porn and clearly didn't even issue a trigger warning and actually said safe for work. Very strange. Let's take a look.
Arrest is closed. Divest. Okay, so now there's a full wall.
There's a full wall. So what those guys are doing, for those of you who don't know, if you've never attended a protest, those are usually designated people with whatever group is actually throwing the protest, because there's going to be a lot of agitators. There's going to be a lot of infiltrators. So their job, ultimately, that's not the whole video. I'm just giving you the background real quick. Their job is to basically build like a human wall that protects the actual protesters and surrounds the, they're protest marshals. They surround the agitators, infiltrators, so that they can, you know, stop them from filming a bunch of random stuff and, you know, try to dox some of the protesters as well. Okay, let's watch.
We will not stop, we will not rest this close. Divest. We will not stop, we will not rest this close. Divest.
See, I can't move forward.
We will not rest this close.
Yeah, I can't move forward.
We will not stop, we will not rest this close. Divest. We will not stop, we will not rest this close. Divest. This close. Divest. We will not rest this close. Divest.
Thank you, Majority Report, for the raid. Hope you had a good stream.
Rest this close. Divest. Ow, you stop.
That's it. That's it. I hope you didn't blink, because that's it. She said, ow, ow, you stabbed me. Every single person that wrote an article, every single person that wrote an article,
You stop.
every single person that wrote an article about like the stabbing of the eye incident, if there was a just world, if this was a just world, and it objectively is not, but if this was a just world, you would be on a rocket ship to the sun, okay? You would be getting launched out of a fucking trebuchet. It is mind-boggling. Thank you, Central Committee, for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. Goddamn, back-to-back raids. What's happening today? What an incredible, genuine moment for self-reflection about the way in which American media operates. Just hysterical, just over dramatic on purpose, and deliberately lying. Because the reality is you're lying at this point. You are lying on purpose. The thing is, not even at the level of her eyes. I would get it if she said someone poked her or something. In all honesty, you think someone manipulated, pushed her to do this, or is she that demented? I think she's that demented. She's so demented. She is so fucking demented that she literally hallucinated that the Israeli couscous, which is not even fucking Israeli, by the way, but anyway, the Israeli couscous was taken out. It was called couscous at Yale, which was, a deliberate attempt to erase Jews or some shit. You know what I mean? Anyway, this is pretty funny. Hassan is a buy. Holy shit. Brother, I told my mom to fuck with her that I spent $200+ on food donations at Emerson College encampment with the help of Red CXY. And she responded by telling me that she was setting up an appointment with a rabbi so I could sit down and talk with her about my disturbing views and actions. Bro, she wants to do Zionist conversion therapy on me. Should I go? Yes. That is fucking hilarious. That is objectively hilarious. I think you should go. I would love for you to report back with what you found out about Zionist conversion therapy. I want to debate Lord my rabbi so hard. I feel like that is peak Judaism, okay? Like that is, if anybody gets mad at that, it's like objectively what this religion was built around, okay? Debating your rabbi is what you have to do. It is ridiculous. It would be anti-Semitic if not. I feel like everything I understand, and I'm an outsider looking in, everything I understand, this is what it's about. Okay? Yeah, Judaism is dialectic. So I do think that that's something that you should definitely do, because I think it's pretty funny. I mean, you don't even have to debate Lord him. I just want to know what he's gonna say. Like, he's gonna be like, I don't know how rabbis operate. I was gonna say, what's wrong, my son? Are you here to confess your sins or some shit? But that's obviously like Catholic. And it's funny because I don't know anything about Catholicism either from personal experience. I just know it from TV. My rabbi is a woman pig. Oh shit, you got a woke Zionist rabbi? Let's go. My bad. They say, me boy. I don't think the rabbi's gonna say Reform Judaism is woke. Yeah. Reform Judaism is woke. It's like it's so awesome because it's so like, it is so Democratic Party coded in many respects, because it's like, oh yeah, no, of course we have like female rabbis and whatnot, but like we are still unconditionally in support of Israel at this synagogue. Okay, make no fucking mistake. I asked her, aren't you proud of me for standing up for what I believe in? And she said no. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. It's great. There is a bearded female rabbi, but I'm pretty sure the bearded female rabbi is actually fucking dope. Like, I think she's literally super fucking anti-Zionist and shit. There is one. Also, she's cis. She just has like I think she's a cis woman. She just has like a what was it? Yeah, she's dope. Jessica Rosenberg. She's BDS and a Reconstructionist. PCOS, is that what it's called? Yeah. Damn, bro, I'm so fucking see that I'm tapped in on my rabbis, okay? I'm tapped in on the rabbi lore. Do you understand me? What other broadcasts are you gonna have a dude fucking talk about random rabbis, okay? Anyway, why do you know so many odd things? Because she's dope. That's like an actual dope ass rabbi who is literally fucking pro BDS and anti-Zionist. So that's why I know. I'm converting to Reconstructionist, a crusty anarchist of Jewish branches. I also took classes from Jessica. She's amazing. Either extremely woke or extremely anti-Semitic. Yeah, that is true. But you can always tell. Like when someone knows a little bit too much about Judaism while not being Jewish, they're either like tapped in or they're like definitely a Nazi. And I'll tell you exactly how you know. When a motherfucker mentions the Talmud as though it's like real fucking ancient Jewish laws that are dictated, that like dictate all Jews or whatever, the moment that they reference the Talmud, that's how you know this motherfucker you're talking to is a little sus, okay? Probably might be a fucking fascist, because they on 4chan they love all of this shit. They know so much about this shit, yet of course are objectively wrong. But the moment that they start mentioning the Talmud, you're like, really? You think this is what's going on? It's like you think like one of the objectively less religious across the board religions is being motivated by a rule book that like you didn't even understand, that is supposed to be like deliberated on as in the way that you analyze it. And also, like I said, most Jews are not like as religious as like the evangelical Christian is, you know what I mean, in the South. Just saying. No, Talmudic law is actually crazy though. Yeah, but it's not like a guidance or a guiding principle. It's what you're supposed to understand from it is that like you're supposed to read it and argue about it. You know what I mean? That's the whole point of it. The whole point of it is not to like take a literalist stance on it like fucking Baptists or some shit, like Jewish Baptists, you know? Then I asked her, what is this? Then I asked her if I could sit down with her and have her listen to what my views, because she keeps not wanting to hear me out. She said no, because I don't know all the facts to rebuke what you have to say. Genuinely facepalm. What the fuck? Wait, is that your mom or your rabbi that said I can't refute what you're going to say? Then I asked her if I could sit down with her and have her listen to what my views are, because she keeps not wanting to hear me out. She said no, because I don't know all the facts to rebut what you have to say. That's crazy. That's okay. That's mid. Okay. That's like, come on, bro. That's mid. You have to, if you're a rabbi, you have to at least like be ready to go. Like, what do you mean? We just talked about how, you know, a big part of rabbinical school and like, I thought you were supposed to debate this kind of stuff. What's happening? My point is debate your rabbis. Okay. To all the Hasanabi heads who are Jewish, you got to do that. I think that was his mom. Oh, really? Debate your mom, become the alpha parent. Yeah, I get to dictate. I get to dictate when it's nap time now, okay? I won this conversation in the marketplace of ideas. I'm the one who serves the top of the hour ad breaks. I'm the one who tells you if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe for $5 or for free. That's right, baby. The top of the hour is upon us. I dictate my allowance now. That's what I'm talking about. Bassem Youssef about the astroturfing going on at Columbia. Yeah. We're gonna get to all of that. But before that, what we're getting to now is the 3-minute ad break at the top of the freaking hour. Here it is. Okay. By the way, it's literally funny seeing the same conservatives who normally call college students liberal snowflakes whose fifis get hurt now turn around and rush to the defense of the stabbed girl with full sincerity. Yeah, I know. It's fine. It's just, you know, it's expected. Come on now. That's literally what these pieces of shit are always talking about. Someone in my ML group chat called you functionally a nihilist, lol. Why are you in an ML group chat? Also, how can you be a Marxist-Leninist in an ML group chat and call me a fucking nihilist? I feel like MLs, especially those who operate, link us the Piers Morgan vid. It hasn't come out yet. Of course, when it comes out, we'll watch it. I don't know when it comes out. What even is an ML? A Marxist-Leninist chat. My ML group chat likes you. Good. Yeah. That's right. Let's get to it. Let's talk about it. Free speech is dead, folks. Newsflash, it never actually extended to the other side of the conversation. Free speech only is used to say slurs in this fucking country. And not even just to say slurs in this country, but also to just like have no repercussions for saying slurs in this country. Because you can still say slurs, but people will get mad at you. You know, you will get punished for it. And yet, for some reason, free speech only goes in that direction, and only in the direction of being able to say slurs, only in the direction of being a right-wing reactionary fascist, and never in the other direction. Here is UT Austin, University of Texas, Austin, where Texas state troopers are barring students from accessing the other side of the campus. Please look at this. I've never seen anything like this. I pray for the safety of these law enforcement officers as they face down the unspeakably ruthless violence of college students in tents, says Will Menaker. Yeah, that's where we're at, dude. Like 18-year-old students being like, hey, can you please stop doing genocide in Palestine, in Gaza with our weapons and with our tax dollars, and versus just the entire fucking Fourth Reich. How sick. By the way, the worst part about this, of course, other than the sheer hypocrisy, right in full display, the willingness to use state violence against those who are protesting against the genocide, the other part of this story is also the fact that if these protesters were actually fucking anti-Semitic Nazis with tiki torches, the cops would be defending them. Okay? If you want to understand, if you want to put to rest this notion that these guys are actually anti-Semitic, okay? The protesters are anti-Semitic, other than the fact that you could just talk to them and recognize that no, one, they're not anti-Semitic, and two, there are literal anti-Zionist Jews oftentimes leading these protests, okay? You could very quickly find that out. But if you want to figure out, like, are these guys actually anti-Semitic? I don't know. Look at the position the cops are facing. It's not like they got their fucking backs turned to the protesters, okay? When protesters are actually Nazis, okay, cops defend them. Jonathan Ben Menachem wrote in Zeteo, I am a Jewish student at Columbia. Don't believe what you're being told about campus anti-Semitism. I mean, it's funny that you're posting this link, but like a Jewish law school student from Columbia is staying with me in my house and has been here talking about it. You know what I mean? Oh, is the Piers Morgan thing up? Is it just going to be the crackhead Barney, or is it going to have my part as well? Because the crackhead Barney one is so fucking annoying. I don't know who the fuck the pink-haired dildo was here, but it was very frustrating. All right, we'll dive into this. Let's do it.
In Gaza, as incensed communities across the world, many Jewish people say they don't feel safe on the streets of Western cities. Many Muslims feel the horror facing innocent Palestinians is treated only as a second-class concern. And as with any emotive cause, a lot of people with no dog in the fight have moulded this crisis into a familiar battle of good versus evil, oppressors versus oppressed. Hysterical scenes at some of America's top universities this week have generated more coverage and commentary than the war itself in the last 2 weeks. Columbia says that all...
Yeah, I wonder why. Someone should perhaps think about why that is the case. Perhaps Piers should think about why that is the case. Shocking. How odd. You come in at 9:45. I'll give you guys a little taste of the crackhead Barney shit so you understand. She is personally wearing pasties, so don't give me that like, oh, it's TOS shit, but like, you know, her boobs are out. Okay.
Person classes are now cancelled until the end of the semester. Arrests have been made at encampments outside NYU and Yale. Well, one notable Jewish professor at Columbia shared a video of Muslims praying as if it was a shocking assault on US values. Many badly informed pro-Palestine demonstrators, meanwhile, have called for an intifada and chanted, "We love Hamas." Others believe that synchronized dancing is a long-lost secret to peace in the Middle East. Well, these people are all spending $80,000 a year on tuition, but clearly many of them haven't found Wikipedia, and this virtue-signaling fever is now emboldening a growing number of people to confront public figures. There's simply no connection to the war. This was New York Mayor Eric Adams, berated for supporting genocide as he took his seat on a flight.
Hey, Eric Adams? Yeah, you! You support the genocide in Palestine. There are homeless people all over New York. You're always partying. You don't actually care about the citizens of New York. People cannot afford food. You keep cutting the education budget so you can fund the police.
And this so-called performance artist has dominated timelines for days after achieving what previously seemed impossible, an outpouring of public sympathy for Alec Baldwin by doing this.
Put innocent people in jail, Alec Baldwin. I'm so sorry. Free Palestine, Alec, just one time, and I'll leave you alone. I'll leave you alone, I swear. Just say free Palestine one time. One time. One time.
Call the police.
One time, Alec. You know he's a criminal. You know he's a criminal. Come on, Alec, just say free Palestine one time. Israel, Zionism. Please say it. One time.
Could you do me one quick favor?
One time.
So does any of this make a difference? Are these demonstrators forcing the rich and powerful to confront and condemn the horrors of war? Or is it a wave of self-indulgent protest, just distracting us from the deadly serious realities of a grim ongoing war? In a moment, I'll debate all that with Hassan Piker, Emily Austin, Esther Cracker and James Barber. First, I'm joined by Alec Baldwin's antagonist there, who calls herself Crackhead Barney. Well, welcome to Uncensored.
Hey, Piers! I've been waiting for you, Piers fucking Morgan!
Okay.
I wore my diaper today for you, Piers. Do you like it?
Not particularly, no. Do you want to sit down?
And Piers, can you bring me to Buckingham Palace? I would like to meet the Queen.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I'd really like to meet.
That's basically what this fucking entire thing is about. Yeah, exactly. Which is why I'm going to skip this part. And it goes on, and I'm sitting in this fucking minivan studio watching this happen, and I'm thinking to myself, like, this is such a, in my opinion, this geared me up way harder than, like, even the pro-Israel brigade. Because, like, I felt like that's who you're debating now. No, this person was just like a bit. And it felt disrespectful to have a bit about this sort of situation. And I thought that it was like very frustrating and shitty, even though, to be fair, Piers Morgan does actually do a decent job of like kind of shitting on her, but like she's obviously doing a bit. And Piers is just like, why are you using Palestinians for fucking clout? You know what I mean? Like that's basically what he said. But it is a wild fucking way to start the conversation. And there are people on that panel who very clearly use that as an example of like pro-Palestinian, of the pro-Palestinian side.
I think we've heard enough of Crackhead, to be honest with you. All right, let's bring in my panel. Streamer Hassan Piker, journalist Emily Austin, uncensored contributor Esther Krakow, and podcaster James Barr. Well, Emily, I mean, on one level, I guess it was quite funny, but on another level, I didn't like what she did to Alec Baldwin. I've got no truck for Alec Baldwin whatsoever. And I think with this case that he's got hanging over him, I hope that justice is served, because ultimately he did fire the gun that killed that poor woman and has been on some kind of weird PR tour ever since. But I don't like to see any public figure, whether it's Eric Adams, the mayor, on a plane, or Alec Baldwin getting a coffee, harangued and harassed in that manner. Now, I tried to conduct a serious interview. She obviously wasn't interested in doing that, wanted to turn the whole thing into a foul-mouthed rant and joke and performative thing. Fine. That's entirely her right to do it. But what did you think of these harassings, not just by her, but by other people, of public figures?
You tried to conduct a serious interview with crackhead Barbie?
Well, no, I was asking her about a viral video of her harassing Alec Baldwin, which I do actually think is a serious thing. I do actually think public figures should not be harassed in that manner. I've had a bit of it myself, and I think it crosses a line, right? And Alec Baldwin, you know, as far as I'm aware, has not said anything particularly sensational about the war at all. So why she is harassing him in the street in the way that she did, I think is worthy of examination. Wow. Now, as it turned out, she had no interest in having a serious conversation. Okay, so we've
I didn't realize my audio was shit too. I said clout.
They're off, but I don't think I should be blamed for getting on someone who is literally at the centre of a quite big news story in America for harassing a famous star. Do you, Hassan?
No, it was for clout. She was doing it for clout. That's why she went on the show, also for clout, right. Which you were correct on pointing out that using the ongoing ethnic cleansing campaign in Gaza and what's happening to the Palestinian people as a vehicle to create more social clout for yourself, social capital for yourself is pretty disingenuous, pretty messed up.
I have to jump in there, though, because isn't that what everybody's doing?
No! And I hate this. As soon as he said that, something zapped in my fucking brain. I was like, oh, I think, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not even kidding. I think it was like the crackhead Barney and then like the pink-haired twink, like, you know, not based, not woke Tyler. It just like when he fucking got his fucking little angloid pause on this issue to be like, well, it's all for clout. I mean, that's what we're all doing, aren't we? And it's like, yeah, it's not Tyler Oakley. Tyler Oakley's based and is pro-BDS and fucking anti-Zionist. This guy, on the other hand, is Tyler Brokley. Exactly.
Well, isn't that what this show is also doing? Because you're talking about create political clout, create noise,
I'll come back
to get clicks, to make money.
Listen, let's not all be disingenuous,
no,
right?
But the whole conversation, and actually Crackhead Barney isn't that different to you. Well, actually, and Crackhead Barney said it herself. She said, we're no different. And I kind of agree with Crackhead Barney. I didn't think I'd say it.
If you think there's any correlation between what she just did on the show...
someone screaming over someone and not letting them speak, there's definitely a correlation.
Well, you think that I've treated you like she treated Alec Baldwin?
No, I'm just saying that I think that actually you aren't that different. You're trying to do the same thing.
I'll come back to that.
You're just doing it in a different way.
No, it's a preposterous suggestion. I do not do what she does, right? But Hassan, here's the point I would make to you. A lot of people think a lot of these protesters at universities in America are performative. The ones who are chanting their support for Hamas, the ones who are chanting about intifada and pretending it's not about a violent uprising. I mean, do you accept that a lot of that is not only performative, but public demonstration of support for terrorism?
Absolutely not. I don't think that... I mean, all protests are technically performative, obviously, but there's a very clear-cut goal for the group of students at Columbia and many other universities. I was in Melbourne not that long ago, and I attended a Palestinian protest there, a Palestinian rally there, and the students there were also demanding the exact same thing, that they divest, their colleges divest from a lot of the companies that are aligned with the state of Israel, a lot of the companies that are directly involved in operations in the West Bank, a lot of the companies that are playing a role in the regular maintenance of the apartheid regime of Israel and helping Israel conduct an ethnic cleansing campaign. That is the ultimate goal. That is why they're trying to very clearly cause a little bit of a disruption and engage in.
But are you comfortable? Okay, but are you comfortable?
The most American thing you can do.
Are you comfortable with the ones who are seen chanting support for Hamas or chanting about Intifada?
I am perfectly comfortable with people chanting about the Intifada. As far as the Hamas thing goes, any kind of protest is always going to have a litany of random people, but ultimately it doesn't really matter. You have to look at the actual tangible goals that the protest movement is stating they're interested in. And I think that those goals, and I think you will agree with me on this, Piers, I think those goals are pretty valid overall. I think that they want to, one, recenter the attention to the genocide that is ongoing in Gaza, and two, demand that their tuition dollars do not go to operations in Israel. I don't know if you're aware of this, but there's a campus. There's going to be a sister campus that is being built in Tel Aviv right now for Columbia University. This means that Columbia University, which once housed the likes of the late great Edward Said and many others, and that currently has many Palestinian students who pay tuition for projects such as this one, will not be able to go to that sister campus. I find that abhorrent, but it's everyday existence in Israel.
Let me bring in Emily.
Now, you might be saying, wow, you cooked there, Hassan. And yes, of course I did. Just wait until everything falls apart, because this right here, in and of itself, the first 9 minutes and 55 seconds to 15, I put it out there. I'm there for a specific purpose. My goal is to, one, defend the students that are doing an honorable and just thing, and two, recenter the attention back to Palestinians who are being ethnically cleansed, right? 6 minutes of that, it's great. Now wait, now watch what fucking happens after.
You've been listening to all this, your response?
With all due respect, Hassan, why do you feel that Columbia, or any college for that matter, owes you to divest from Israel? Why do you?
So let me just say, I did not respond to anything that she said here because I let her go. I let her cook. I wanted to, I thought it was going to be point, counterpoint, point, counterpoint. So you'll notice when I snap.
I think your opinion is correct, because so far I heard the classic buzzwords: apartheid, discriminatory, ethnic cleansing, and genocide, which is funny because it's all the exact opposite. So if I may ask you, what about Israel is apartheid? You also just said the students in Israel, the campus in Israel would not allow Palestinians to join. Are you confused, or do you know nothing about the country of Israel? Because let me remind you, Jews are not allowed in the West Bank and Gaza. However, Arabs have full Israeli citizenship, have the rights, are members of the Knesset, which is the equivalence of, you can think of Congress.
Bro, she hit literally every talking point. Every talking point. There are Arabs in the Knesset, don't you know? Literally does not respond to what I'm saying. A Palestinian American student from fucking Columbia University cannot go to the school in Tel Aviv. They can't. That's ridiculous. Besides the point that, Columbia is participating in the ethnic cleansing of the Palestinians by, doing these sorts of partnerships with the fucking state of Israel, which is doing that currently. I love that she tried to fucking speed around the Hasbara talking points. Now, obviously, in a normal situation, I go point by point by point by point, and I just fucking cook her ass, okay? But this is not a normal situation at all. This is hostile territory. Now, let me tell you something real quick. This lady, I do not know a single thing about her. I don't know anything about any of these ladies. I looked their names up last night. Found out that she was, pro-Israel. I was like, all right, she's going to be the fucking pro-Israel one. Then I found out this lady is a black conservative. However, she actually was phenomenal on this panel. Now, I'll just say this. When I found out she was black conservative, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be a threesome. This is fucked up. Everyone is going to be trying to fucking tackle me. This guy was a last second addition. I think it was supposed to be Blair White originally. I thought they were just gonna fucking all rip into my ass, and then I just like try to fucking sit there and do a 3v1, possibly a 4v1, as a matter of fact, because Piers does have the capacity to chirp. He is a big yapper, and he'll do that shit, the classic, like, let me catch a soundbite here shit that all journalists do. Anyway, let's continue.
And even prosecuted a former Prime Minister, Ehud Olmert, an Arab judge. So what apartheid exactly are you speaking about? What genocide? What ethnic cleansing? And secondly, how dare you
classic,
it's okay to talk about an intifada? Let me remind you, the intifada last time it happened in Israel consisted of thousands of people dying in bus bombings. So are you saying that you support terrorism and killing innocent people?
Well, intifada simply just means revolution, and I'm an American, and in 1776,
violent
we did
revolution.
one of those, and it was pretty fucking good. Yeah. What do you think? The American?
Okay,
do you think the American Revolution was a tickle party? Of course not.
We also bombed Hiroshima.
We also bombed Hiroshima? What the fuck does that mean? What does that have to do with intifada? Was that a revolutionary act? That's not a revolution. There's just violence. There's a difference. Notice how I'm still keeping it kind of cool and cracking jokes about how 1776, baby, America, fuck yeah. Inside of me is a volcano, okay? And I think this was when I lost it. When she started with the how dare yous and the fucking crackhead Barney being like the representative of the pro-Palestinian side, and the pink-haired twink coming in and being like, everyone is doing this for clout. It's just like all reached a boiling point inside of me. And all the rage cage shit that I did the night prior, all of a sudden was gone. Slate clean. Do you understand? You are about to see a very different attitude from me. Because, like, the whole, Israel is not an apartheid state. When she notices that I do have the smoke, as a matter of fucking fact, okay? When she realizes that I do have the freaking smoke, she just starts cutting me off.
Yeah, I know. And that was also unjust and unimaginably cruel. But of course, the Israel Defender is also defending nuking civilians and killing them by the hundreds of thousands. Now listen, let's get back.
But when it goes against
refocus the conversation to the points that you made. Let's refocus the conversation to the points that you made.
Okay, look,
you said,
just to remind everybody, I'm actually moderating this, but that's an interesting point that Emily just raised, Hassan. It does seem
Look. Notice how this fucking limp dick, this is when it's like, okay, he immediately goes, oh, you said violent revolution is justifiable in certain instances? Well, let's take it back to October 7. Let's take it back to October 7. It's October 7 time. Time to talk about October 7.
Very selective about the violence that you support. That when you support it, it's justified. When other people use things in a violent way that you don't support, it's unjustified. Seems like it's all skewed to what Hassan Piker thinks.
Well, not necessarily just what I think. I think that there are obvious markers, obvious boundaries. I don't think violence against civilians is justified. I have talked about October 7 on this very same show, saying that it was a tragedy. It was atrocities that occurred on October 7 specifically. When you target civilians in any capacity, I think that that is unacceptable. However, this does not mean that violence will not occur in many circumstances. Violence has occurred in every single revolutionary action, many good revolutionary actions. Obviously, America bombing Hiroshima and Nagasaki with an atom bomb, that was not a very good
Hamas did on October the 7th.
Anybody. It was not a very good moment for human civilization at all.
Was what Hamas did on October the 7th? Was what Hamas did on October the 7th?
Hamas, October 7. Hamas, October 7. Hamas. It's like reflexive with these fucking dinguses, bro. It's been 7 fucking months, dude. 7 months. 30,000 dead Palestinians. And this cocksucker motherfucker is still like, October 7th, do you condemn hummus, baby? Tell me now, do you condemn it? Do you condemn hummus? You must condemn hummus. What's really interesting is I already fucking know that that's coming, so I already talked about it. But no, there is no real conversation. There is no real, why didn't you say lesser of two evils? I did, but it was way fucking at the end of this, okay? Thank God for my queen here, who I suspect we would not agree on much, but on this issue, she is gonna pop the fuck off, and she luckily comes in and like refocuses the conversation, because I'm losing my mind at this point.
An example of what you would call a justified revolution.
I don't look at every single act of violence. I look at
You've literally just been reciting a whole load of them.
Systems of oppression.
Why are you avoiding
Piers.
October the 7th?
You do it too.
No, I don't.
I'm not avoiding it. I've talked about it a million times over.
Let me ask you one more time. Hang on.
This is not what we're here to discuss.
Emily, hang on.
This is not what we're here to discuss.
Let me just ask you directly.
Like, why is this the conversation? Why? You know my point. You know. And it's just like, now it's a fuck fest. Now it's a fuck fest. She's coming in, trying to fucking long dick. He's coming in, being like, no, condemn hummus, condemn hummus, condemn hummus. He knows what my perspective is. I have said it. I have said it on his fucking broadcast. He knows what it is. I've answered every single fucking question that he's asked me, but it doesn't matter because the conversation is not actually about hummus at all. The conversation is just for Piers to stand there and try to get a fucking clippable moment because he's still resentful that I, one, said he's a stenographer for Israel, and two, a baboon in a suit. Now, let me tell you something. Here's what I know. Piers, old school media guy. If you're cordial with him, if you like him, if you say nice things about him to his face behind closed doors, I'm 100% certain this conversation would have gone down differently. He would not be up my asshole trying to fucking clip and ship something, okay? But the reason why he's doing that is because he doesn't like me. Now, I like him more than he likes me. I'll tell you that much. Because I do think that at least for clout reasons or whatever, there's still a space for people. And I'm saying like Piers is doing this for clout reasons, for clicks, but at least there's a space still for pro-Palestinian conversations to be had. Okay? That's it. Let's continue.
One more time. Let me ask you one more time. Do you believe what happened on October the 7th was a justified act of revolution? Yes or no?
I do not. And I do think that oh, wait, hold on. That's let me clarify. Let me clarify something very important here. Events that unfolded on October 7th were atrocities. That much is clear. Those atrocities could have been avoided if Israel was not an apartheid regime. Israel has been an apartheid regime for 75 years.
Can you answer how Israel's an apartheid regime?
In the
because
early,
you keep repeating that.
No, you can't just chime in. You can't just chime in. You ask me a question. You want it?
Why
you ask me a question.
I'm
going to give you an answer.
Because you're repeating
Israel
these lies.
has been an apartheid regime
ahead,
since
please.
its inception. Until 1967. Israel was an apartheid regime for the Palestinian citizens of Israel, the Arabs, as you called them. There was a two-tier criminal justice system. They were subjected to the military court processes and not the civil court processes until 1967. After 1967, they got citizenship. There are obviously still many different social issues that pertain to the Palestinian citizens of Israel, the Arabs that are living in Israel, those who are not Jewish, of course. However, Israel currently is occupying the West Bank. There are more than 2 million Palestinians that live in the West Bank. Israel's illegally occupying the West Bank. There are checkpoints. There are license plates that restrict Palestinian travel. The Israeli operations in the West Bank have destroyed Palestinian statehood. Now, of course, all of this is readily available for those who want to learn about it, yourself included. I hope you look it up. B'Tselem is an Israeli human rights organization which declared Israel to be an apartheid regime in 2021, in April of 2021. Amnesty International declared Israel to be an apartheid regime.
Don't fucking stop me, you baboon in a suit! Don't fucking stop me while I'm cooking, mate! The chef is in! The fucking chef is in. He's chefing. About to give you a fucking, what do they call it? The something smile? What's it called? The fucking something smile. What's it called, mate? A Chelsea smile, lad. A Chelsea grin. Don't you fuckers stop it, you donkey. It's just like, bro, how are you gonna fucking put the weights on? You know what I mean? He's like, oh, you're fucking popping off. We have to stop. Hey, dude, please stop. The Glasgow grin.
Let me, okay, before I move, hang on. Before I just want to bring in our two British panelists here, but just finally, just to clarify, Hassan, I can't quite work out whether you said you do think October the 7th was an unjustified act.
He's like, hold on, you said Israel's an apartheid state, but let's get back to October 7th. And it's like, dude, shut the fuck up. And that's the point. He's trying to get me to be like, dude, I don't care. Okay, I don't care. What the fuck are we doing here is what he's trying to get me to say. Okay? So this is such a transparent one-note approach to the conversation. How many fucking times do I have to say it was horrific and unjustifiable? When they bring up apartheid, I think the best example to pop quickly is housing. In March, 3,500 housing units were approved for the settlements. Meanwhile, Palestinian building permits are rejected over 98% of the time, same as East Jerusalem, and are regularly expelled from their lands, be it the settlers or by court order. It touches on all the basic issues: land, settler, colonialism, apartheid, displacement. By the way, you're absolutely right. And I wanted to talk about building permits because, like, when the 98% one is so important as a point of contention. Like, it's such a valuable, powerful 1 second thing to say. And yet you will notice that I am trying to fucking mention that and it gets stopped every single time because we have to talk about October 7th. We have to keep talking about October 7th.
To revolution, or whether you change your mind. So can you clarify?
I think that violent means of maintaining an apartheid is inevitably going to yield violent retaliation.
So was it justified?
Something that is completely avoidable.
Was it justified?
Civilian deaths are never justified.
You know what, Hassan?
Hang on, Emily.
Literally boxing in the shower. No, I mean, I'm actually realizing that I did a better job than I thought I did. I was being a little, I mean, I do get way more unhinged. I'm snapping after this. Like, I thought at this point, I thought that I was like already angry, but I think I got way more angry. Have you considered getting professional media training? You can't treat these types of conversations like a good faith conversation. Brother, I've been doing this for 10 years. I am media trained. Okay? There is no matter of media training that you can give a situation like this. It's a fucking 2v1 where the host who controls the conversation is directly trying to stop me dead in my fucking tracks. What are you talking about? This is a contentious conversation. There's not a lot of like media training that can save you in this circumstance. I'm not like Prince Andrew over here talking about how I never sweat. Okay. Oh, I wasn't wearing my child diddling shirt on that day, as you can tell. So it must not have been the day that I was diddling children. There's an audio delay, and the fucking host is like very obviously trying to fucking stop the conversation from moving beyond the point that he wants it to stay at. Also, yeah, what is the media trainer going to tell me? Fucking, hey, everything that you've said in defense of Palestinian lives, stop that. Here's some media training for you. Shut the fuck up about Palestine and start dick riding Israel into oblivion until you get all of the fucking brand deals back. You know what I mean? All of them. Yeah, a media trainer would tell me to be a Zionist, okay? Very profitable.
Emily, Poland's mother in the eyes. No, you look this person's mother in the eyes and you tell him that this was justified. You tell him his arm being blown off and being held in captivity for 200 days is justified.
I do love that the Israel defender has no capacity to fucking hear anything I'm saying.
Palestinians who are
What are you
made
talking about?
Oh, this is it. When I started cursing, it was over. It was like when this shit popped, when she said this shit, it was Jover for me. You feel me? It was Jover. Oh, she got props.
If you're not going to respect me
You
and
think
listen
that
to what
we're
I have to
occupying
say,
the West
which, by the way,
Bank?
of course
you
you
think
don't
we've occupied
respect.
Gaza?
Oh, if you talk
Look what
over each other,
happened.
nobody can hear you.
I just mean, it's not
I think.
It's not I think. It's the entire world knows.
No, it is you
okay?
think.
It's the
The
entire
only
world
thing
knows.
that
Emily,
promotes
please.
your narrative.
Let me handle this, Emily. Hassan, just before I come to the two people who are with me here, I just need some clarity here, because it seems like you're dancing around whether you think October the 7th was justified or not.
Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this back and forth masturbation? I've already given you my fucking
Piers, why are you
position.
doing this?
I'm
He's
sick and
happy.
tired
It's
of
Jews
repeating it
being
over and over
killed.
again.
Okay,
Because
just
it's
ask
Jews,
this-
it's okay.
Ask this
Emily,
demon
stop
next to
talking.
me
It's
wearing
Emily,
a fucking
come back
IDF
to you.
dog
Only
tag.
when it's Jews, it's okay.
Please
Ask
stop
this
shouting
fucking
at each
demon next
other.
to me wearing an IDF dog tag if she actually thinks Israel's actions are justifiable.
Bring them home.
Do you
It's
see
to
me
bring the
rocking the
hostages
fucking
home. The hostages
All right,
that you
you're talking
rightly
over each
believe
other.
Yeah, she loved the dog tag one. Immediately, she's like, look at my propaganda. It actually says bring the hostages home. It's like, bitch, you're wearing that specifically because it's a fucking IDF dog tag. Just because it says bring the hostages home doesn't change that reality. You are directly... It's like if I fucking walked on there with the Al-Qassam Brigade Band-Aid on my fucking head. Okay? And it's not even like that because, as you guys know, Hamas is the lesser evil in this fucking conversation. Yeah, it is so gross that Israel defenders will turn around and fucking be like, but look at the hostages. Shut the fuck up. You killed all the hostages, dumb fuck. Which I will bring up in a second. You'll see. You should have? No, I did. Don't. If you think I didn't, I did. I did. It's just, it's going to get lost in the sauce because there's so much back and forth, and I don't know if they cut it out or not.
Doesn't matter.
right.
You know what it
Tunnels of
is.
Gaza.
I'm going to give you two. I'm going to let you two calm down. It's pointless. We cannot hear you when you talk over each other.
Troll people.
Every time recently, I have someone from both sides on. Like,
Look how happy she is. Look how happy she is. Now, here's the second thing. Here's the second thing that makes me go fucking crazy. Because Piers spent the last 10 minutes hyper focusing on October 7, even though I gave my perspective 11 times, right? Now, they are going to literally center the conversation about, well, you guys are being mean to one another. See, we can never be productive. And it's just like, dude, you cut me off. You won't let me fucking speak. I was cordial. I let her go through her fucking points early on, and I was going to go piece by piece and address them. But you won't let me do that. You cut me off multiple fucking times. You should be like, oh, what about October 7? What about October 7? And it's so fucking disgusting. And then, obviously, I'm fucking pissed off at this point because, like, the atrocities are ongoing, and we're not talking about them. And the conversation is like deviating into a shit show. And now the conversation has moved beyond the aesthetics of the conversation that we're having.
it goes like this.
I'm wearing this rusty necklace.
Please,
because
can you
there are
listen to
200
me,
Israeli
Emily?
Civilians in Gaza right now.
Can you
as
stop
hostages.
doing this to each other, please?
Emily,
Nobody
Emily,
can understand a
can you
word
condemn the
either of
actions
you
of
are saying.
Israel?
Now let me come to Esther and James here. This is one of my problems.
No, I want to
actually.
hear if Emily condemns
No,
the actions
Hassan,
of Israel.
you
Why
will
don't you ask
please
her
let me
about that?
moderate the debate.
Why don't you ask her about
I don't condemn
30,000
the idea.
people
I've got
killed?
two
I
panelists
condemn
here
the
who've not
fact
had
that
a...
Yeah, why won't you ask her? Hey, Piers, why won't you ask Emily, who's rocking the IDF dog tag, which would be akin to me wearing an Al-Qassam Brigade headband, if she condemns the actions of Israel? You won't, because you fucking love Israel. You love the content. They lowered my fucking volume. Look how old this woman is. Oh my God, she's 22? I thought she was 35, bro. God damn, that shit is not good for your skin. I swear to God. Bro, being a fascist is literally the worst possible thing you could do. It ages you dramatically. Oh my Lord. I was like, oh yeah, she looks pretty good for 40. That's what I was thinking the entire time. Like, you know, that's 22? You're 22? God damn, son. Whoo! I got 10 years on her. I know people will tell you some bullshit like you're swearing or yelling as a turnout for the broadcast, but I gotta say, it's so fucking satisfying when you dog walk these fucking assholes and scream at them. Yeah, it is not as bad as I thought it was early on. I should have definitely kept my cool, but it's all things considered. I mean, I think people that watch this will probably come to the conclusion that it's impossible to keep your fucking cool. Yeah, see, many people are saying exactly what I was trying to say.
Exactly, because you're a fucking terrorist.
Please stop talking.
And I think you're a terrorist. And I think you're a terrorist as well.
Okay, well, I'm not the one wearing.
Because until the hostages are home, don't expect the war to be over.
Yeah, I know.
Bring
you don't
them
care about the
home.
hostages. If
I
you cared
love
about the
how
hostages,
you're condemning
you would
me.
be
You are
screaming at
exposing
Benjamin Netanyahu.
your own terrorism
Benjamin
on live
Netanyahu
television.
is the hostage
you
killer.
Are exposing. You know.
Benjamin Netanyahu has killed more hostages than
Hamas. What do
you
think? Nah, no shot. No shot. I'm not letting her get away with it. At that point, I'm like, nope, I know what's going on here. If you don't let me if you don't want to fucking be a moderator, then sorry, you don't get to have a fucking normal, cordial conversation. You think I'm going to let her fucking cut me off every single time and be like, look at the hostages. You don't get me the hostages. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. If you rage and make it funny, it's definitely good content, Lamau. I mean, I was raging. I don't know if it's good content for you guys, but I was definitely raging. You can definitely tell. This is like, I think this is the most, openly angry I've ever been on television. I usually have like a different voice that I use on TV where I will be a little bit more laid back. I'll be more careful. I don't curse. If you notice, I rarely ever curse on television. Okay? But this was definitely, it's good content, but I don't think it's good overall. I mean, it's just like the other chatters said, this was probably horrific to experience, but so fucking cathartic for you to say on major news media that loves to glaze Israel and lie just how fucked they are. It's just like, I would have liked this conversation to be cordial. I would have liked this conversation to be point, counterpoint, point, counterpoint. That's not what's going to happen here. And I noticed that that's not what's going to happen here. And I tried to hold on. I tried to hold on for as long as I can to the cordial attitude that I brought to the table, literally up until, like, you see the breaking point. Okay? I'm trying to do as best as I can. It's only palatable because you're talking us through how it felt. I would never watch this on my own. I know. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. There is no way that I was going to let her do propaganda without addressing it. Okay? I would rather die than let a program that I'm on mainstream media, or well, I guess this is technically no longer mainstream media anymore. I don't know if it's still on TV or not, but it doesn't matter. I'm not getting on a fucking program and letting an Israel dick rider propagandize bad faith talking points, point by point by point by point, and not fucking address it. And as soon as I knew that Piers was never going to let me fucking do a point by point retort, that's it. I'm not going to fucking let that slide. No. No shot, big dog. No way.
Hamas for not only oppressing the Palestinian people, but for spreading terrorism. I don't see your outrage at Hamas. Israel gave Gaza back in 2005,
I would like to, please.
And Hamas has turned this into a terrorist haven.
Emily and Hassan, can you please show some courtesy
Hamas
to the other
is the lesser
panelists?
evil in comparison to Israel.
Can you please stop talking, both of you, and let the other two panelists have a say?
Soundbite, Pierce? I'll give you a
them some courtesy, please. Some courtesy for your co-panelists here. Now, Esther, this is one of the problems I have with this whole debate.
Yeah. The debate goes out of control. The debate goes out of control. It's so crazy. It's like, yeah, dude, that's what happens when one side is literally fucking slaughtering children, okay? Thousands, by the thousands, slaughtering children, women, men, everyone, destroying the entirety of a fucking open-air prison that they created, okay? Esther does save the day, by the way. Esther, fucking my queen, okay? I don't even know. The only thing I saw was that she's like a black conservative or something. So I literally thought that she was also coming for me right now. Turns out, queen, okay?
Increasingly, it just descends into a screaming match between pro-Palestinians and pro-Israelis.
And the biggest losers are the victims of this war. 33,000 dead Palestinians, over 1,500.
I don't remember what I said, that they fucking paused. They like
dead
straight up
Israelis.
lowered my volume.
These are the biggest victims of this, because you're shouting at each other and nothing is getting, like, you're completely, forget having no courtesy for us. You're completely disrespecting actual victims of this conflict, which, by the way, didn't happen in a vacuum. And I think that's the most important thing to say about this. None of this happened in a vacuum. Of course, October the 7th was an atrocity, and it was completely unjustified. There was no justification for butchering people in the way that they did. But it didn't happen in a vacuum. A lot of the people that live in Gaza weren't even born at the time that Hamas came in power. So I really just, I despise this, you're a terrorist sympathizer, you're a genocide supporter, all of this, when really the people that we should be talking about deserve better.
Okay. James, on the wider point of these protests...
Well, I couldn't get to that part because I wanted to describe what the apartheid is, and
Okay.
Emily cut in immediately to chirp about some random shit.
Okay, you were both abusing each other. It was very unedifying.
It was very
let me ask James. James, on the protests...
Yeah, let's ask this fucking guy. dude. I'm a little too comfortable with my faux status in the community, obviously, because this is a very queer community. And you guys know where my position is on the matters, right? Like, I've been a fucking radical ally to LGBTQ momentum in the country for a very long time. I'm telling you something right now. It was very hard for me not to say, like, who the fuck is this pink-haired twink? Okay? It was because I knew. I was like, if I say some shit like that, people are going to be like, oh, this dude is homophobic, and write me off as like, oh, this dude's definitely homophobic. Because dude, I was trying so, not a slur, obviously, but god damn, son, god damn, it was just like, what the fuck is this guy doing here? What is this guy doing here? Why is he a part of this conversation? Look at my face. I'm like, yeah, let's hear from this fucking dude. Let's hear what he has to say.
On the protests, look, I believe in the right to protest. That's an absolute bedrock of any democracy. But I don't believe in the right to support terror groups publicly, or to chant about support for Hamas, or to chant about Intifada, which is a violent uprising. Where's the line for you with these?
I agree. I think we have to condemn what Hamas did, and I don't think the words that have been used so far have been strong enough. I mean, it was the worst.
Yeah. We haven't condemned Hamas strong enough, dude. Yeah, you're right, dude. I should literally fucking give more money to Israel. Please. I just paid my taxes, bro. I am literally the #1 Palestinian baby killer at this point, and it's not even up to me, okay? The fuck do you mean? I have paid for the death and destruction of the Palestinian lives without my fucking consent way more than any of these dumb fucking British people have, okay? Shut the fuck up. Shut up. If it were up to me, I would be giving them the Iron Dome, okay? That's what they deserve. The Palestinian people deserve the Iron Dome, okay? Let's even out the fucking playing field.
Best thing we've seen in a very long time. It was disgusting, appalling, awful for everyone involved. I also have a lot of sympathy, if not, I can't think of a bigger word, for the people of Gaza. It's awful, and I will agree with you. I do want a free Palestine, and I also want a free and successful Israel, but I don't want innocent people murdered. So yeah, you can't go to a protest and start shouting about support for Hamas. That's insane.
Isn't it ironic that something like this has become a haven for, like, the mentally unwell? You're talking about something as serious.
Yeah, this is where I was like, what is she saying? Like, she was so good with the fucking, like, Israel, like, this wasn't in a vacuum shit, and then she's like trying to both sides it too. I know I got no fucking love for anybody that is like straying away, even remotely. Even the dude, the driver, like the guy who owns the rental, like, moving studio. After this conversation ended, he was like, so what's up? Like, I mean, I don't know how you deal with that. And I was like, yeah, I know. And then he even like tried to, in a very kind way, be like, so do you just have no, like, do you just not leave any room for people who don't agree with you? And I was like, listen, there are plenty of things that I can have cordial disagreements with, but genocide is not one of them. You know what I mean? It's just not. Like, that's it. When it comes to ethnic cleansing, I don't think there is a fucking half measure. You know what I mean? There isn't. This is so funny / expected. Emily Austin, dream with ambition, lead with conviction, and see yourself in a way that others will not. Kamala Harris. Yeah, I think she was supposed to be a liberal Zionist, maybe, but like she was not. Or maybe she is. I don't fucking know. But I think that like there was no. She was like, what do you mean apartheid? Like liberal Zionists at least are embarrassed about the West Bank. You know what I mean? She was not. Like defending Netanyahu. I gave clear markers. I gave a clear out. Like, I know how these conversations go. I know all the talking points and I know all the fucking retorts. I've had it a million gorillion times, right? So I know how this works. So I'm giving her fucking outs basically to be like, yeah, Benjamin Netanyahu, we both hate him, right? I did that. The West Bank mention is a very good way to figure out like what level of ultra Zionism you're on, okay? And I know that Israelis in the chat will attest to this as well. Liberal Zionists also will openly say, yeah, the West Bank is fucked up. And, you know, there's plenty of debate on this issue in Israel. And yeah, Benjamin Netanyahu is a corrupt madman. But she's over here literally fucking defending Benjamin Netanyahu and defending the settlements of the West Bank. And she says some even more unhinged shit later down the line, which is very odd because here she is in July 31st, 2020, wishing everyone a happy Eid. Eid Mubarak. So what happened? I'll tell you what happened. I know exactly what happened. What happened is media, okay? She got a media opportunity. Sometimes you have to go to the Norman route and just make them look like imbecile clowns. It's very hard to have a conversation with someone who doesn't know what is happening or even what the definitions of words are type shit. Yeah, I did not have the Norm Finkelstein level of self-restraint.
As a conflict in Israel and Gaza, and for some reason you have really uneducated people that are clearly 20 years ago would have been in an asylum supporting this openly, not even knowing the conflict, not even knowing the context of what they're supporting, and for some reason we even give it airtime. That's what upsets me. These people don't deserve airtime.
Right? Everyone is so triggered on both sides, on all sides, and rightly so, because a lot of terrible stuff has happened. So that's where the emotion is coming from. But really, I think we all want the same thing, and that is for innocent people to not be murdered or slain in the streets.
Triggered.
Right. I mean, look, Hassan. Hang on, Emily, please, I'll come to you. Let me just ask Hassan. When you and Emily go at each other like you just did, nobody wins. I mean, no one can really understand a word you're saying because you're shouting over each other. You end up just calling each other terrorists. There's no sensible dialogue here. There's no constructive conversation. It's just two implacably opposed sides abusing each other. Do you understand that?
Yeah, listen, Piers, okay? This is going to always be a very heated discussion, okay? Having a conversation about how heated this discussion is utterly unproductive. Every single moment that we use on air, not talking about every single university building being desecrated, destroyed. The fact that we're having this conversation on the eve of hundreds of mass graves being unearthed right now in many different parts of Gaza around hospitals that Israel had laid siege to is disgusting. I agree. I came on here, as I have done last time as well, and as I will probably do in the future as well, with one simple goal in mind, which is to address all of the misinformation that surrounds stuff like this. As far as the crackhead Barbie thing goes, yeah, she's a random TikTok influencer who gives a shit about what she has to say. She's obviously doing it for clout. But the students over at Columbia, okay, the students that I have talked to.
This is where I try to go back because this is the reason why I'm there. They told me we're supposed to be talking about campus activism and the anti-Semitism that's rising on campuses or whatever. So I'm trying to literally fucking steer the conversation back to that. But of course, because I'm doing that, Piers is going to fucking cut me off again.
At the Columbia University Apartheid Divest group, the students that I've talked to from Jewish Voice for Peace.
All right, Emily, let me just ask you.
Wait, what? Why did he cut that? Oh my God, they edited it. Look up the segment description. Terrorist sympathizers and genocide supporters. Crackhead Barney is obviously doing it for clout, says Hasanabi. I mean, that's such an obvious fucking... That's a gross edit, bro. How is this uncensored, Piers?
That I've talked to from Jewish Voice for Peace.
All right, Emily, let me just ask you the same thing I asked Hassan. When you guys scream at each other and call each other terrorists, it doesn't obviously achieve anything other than it becomes unintelligible to the audience. You know, is there not a better way we can have this conversation?
Funnily enough, correct. And funnily enough, I have the same exact answer as Hassan. My job here is to make sure that I'm debunking false narratives that Hassan is clearly spewing. My job here is to call out hypocrisy. And I just saw another one where he's saying that crackhead Barney, whoever the hell that girl was, is a lunatic, but Aaron Bushnell, who lights himself on fire, is a hero. You can't pick and choose whatever fits your narrative. And I keep on repeating.
I would say this much. When she mentioned Aaron Bushnell, she did that to like light a fire under my ass. I didn't eat that bait. I didn't eat that bait, but it definitely changed my energy a lot.
Repeating that over and over again because the Palestinian movement will literally just take what they can get, spew all of the truth into their false narrative, spread misinformation, and then you say that we're the liars. You tell me I'm wearing an IDF dog tag. I'm wearing a bring them home for the hostages that you... No, it says bring them home.
You're using the hostages as a simple political tool to make propaganda in the West. Is quite disgusting. The protests that are happening in Israel right now are massive.
Are a political tool?
Look. Now I'm like, I got the smoke for your fucking dog tag too, dumbass. Here, listen to what I have to say.
Those protests.
What?
You are using humans in captivity as a political tool. It's so obvious.
Why, Hassan? Why are you dehumanizing the hostages? Because I have no problem admitting the Palestinians deserve better.
Not.
I feel terrible.
You're using them as a political pawn.
I can say that.
If you cared about the hostages, you would be in Tel Aviv right now.
Using the
alongside.
Right, let me bring in James.
Let's hear from fucking James, dude. Yeah. Thanks, Piers. Let's hear from James. I'm trying to be like, listen, if you're that mad about the hostages, you have to be mad at Benjamin Netanyahu. You have to be mad at Benjamin Netanyahu, who has killed all the hostages. It's a very simple point. That's it. That's the point. But I need to hear from James about how I'm wrong, actually, from a dude who has no fucking clue. Evil Owens Jones? No, I don't even want to use the same. I don't even want to invoke the name of Owen Jones, okay?
James, please.
I'm sorry that I can't.
Please, let me bring in James.
I agree with both of you.
Sorry, can you please, when I say stop talking, please stop talking. We've got 4 people here. James.
If anyone is using hostages, surely it's Hamas, Hassan. How can you say that? How can you use that argument? That's a crazy thing to say. It's Hamas that have taken these people from their homes,
tens of thousands of people in Israel. There are currently tens of thousands of Israeli citizens right now in the streets of Israel, in the streets of Tel Aviv, outside of Benjamin Netanyahu's house, protesting every single day. What are they protesting? They're protesting for Benjamin Netanyahu to facilitate a ceasefire with Hamas so that they can actually bring the hostages home. That is precisely the number one goal of the family members of the hostages.
Who
and
is
if
using
anyone
the
on this panel was being even a little bit honest, they would recognize the reality that, just listen.
You didn't listen to my question.
Listen to what I'm saying, and you will understand perhaps what I'm trying to imply
here. That's very patronizing.
Utilizing the hostages. Yeah, I am being patronizing. I don't know who the fuck you are, and you're over here chirping all the way from fucking London about Palestine and doing a both sides are fucking fine type bullshit where you're talking about how you want to fucking free Palestine, but also simultaneously, both sides got a lot going on. Shut the fuck up. You don't know anything, okay? I don't give a shit about what you're...
I lost it. I was like, I don't care. Who are you? Shut the fuck up. At least this dumbass next to me, at least is a little bit fucking knowledgeable. She knows the propaganda talking points. You don't even know. You thought he was a chatter for a second? He is less knowledgeable than an average gray name chatter in my community. Yeah, I did do that on TV. Because, who the fuck do you think you are? Who? Shut the fuck up. This is not your opportunity to fucking pad your CV so you can get a goddamn media spot later on as a fucking podcaster. Big boys are talking about fucking genocide. Put your fucking big boy pants on. Even she liked it. She liked it a little bit. Yeah, I even did the fucking accent. Here, you want to watch it again? Here.
Very patronizing.
Utilizing the hostages. Yeah, I am being patronizing. I don't know who the fuck you are. And you're over here chirping all the way from fucking London about Palestine and doing a both sides are fucking fine type bullshit where you're talking about how you want to fucking free Palestine, but also simultaneously, you know, both sides got a lot going on. Shut the fuck up. You don't know anything, okay? I don't give a shit about what your perspective is.
I agree. Hassan doesn't like what you have to say, so you're wrong. It's not. It's Hassan's way or the highway.
I mean, you are. There is no both sides on a genocide. Is there a both sides on a genocide? There is no both sides.
Well, the thing is, it's interesting you should mention the hostages.
What is in the Hamas charter? They want a Jewish genocide, but that's okay. But a Jewish genocide is okay.
If you're talking about the well-being of the if you're talking about the well-being of the hostages, what sense did it make for the IDF to flatten?
Thank God my queen comes in and just because I'm a lightning rod for everyone there, she can just like get away with saying good things, okay? She can get away in that very moment when everyone's attention is locked on the top of the hour ad break where there's a 3-minute ad break, okay? My queen, okay? My beautiful queen, thank God. Like I said, I don't know anything about this person's perspective, but here she banged, okay? She banged, she popped. Anyway, I'm perfectly fine being the unhinged person that serves you the 3-minute ad break as long as you, of course, subscribe to avoid those ad breaks. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I thought they muted me a lot more. It doesn't come across as bad as I thought it was going to be. But I am progressively getting more and more unhinged, as you can see. And I think the breaking point was when I said, I don't give a fuck what you have to say. I don't know who the fuck you are. Trying to both sides genocide. Sakura Gore and the Gafficus, thank you for the 10 community gift the subs. Joey Keyboard, thank you for the 5 gifted. Jugger Blob, thank you for the 5 gifted. Allowing 20, 30, however many people from to no longer see the ads. 2BR02BKV, thank you for the 10 gifted. Here is the 3-minute ad break now. It's amazing Piers didn't say shit to you going off like that, pro moderator. Yeah, because Piers knows what gets the fucking clicks. Nobody angers you more than British libs. Oh my God, you don't understand. Sarah's Business, thank you for the 5 gifted. And Papa Maverick, thank you for the 5 gifted. Do you think Piers will invite you again? Fuck yeah, he will. He invites Rabbi Shmuley, bro. He doesn't give a fuck. He just likes clicks. More Updog, thank you for the 5 gifted. Piers has been asking me to go on for weeks at this point. I'm the one who says no usually.
About 70% of Gaza. Because I completely agree. Bring the hostages home. If you look at Gaza, the topography of Gaza right now, it looks like a pancake. So I'm sorry, this whole argument of Hamas using them as human tools, fine, but the IDF has also been using it to continue that campaign. If you were told that if, God forbid, if your relative was one of the hostages and you saw what's happening right now, and I met someone whose mother is a hostage, and he said he didn't want his mother and her being taken to be used in the name of violence. Right now, he's sitting at home wondering, okay, what is the logic of trying to bring my mother home when you flattened Gaza? Please explain that to us.
So, can I pull the question
you might very well pull those.
No answer. Can I pull the question to you? Hello. You have asked me a question that makes me look bad because I am defending a violent apartheid state. Hello. Are you also Hamas? Brother, how did you now respond to saying Gaza wasn't flattened and it needs to be fact checked? No, I'm not even listening to what she's saying. I'm listening to what my queen is saying. Okay. Because she's fucking, right now, at this point, I'm like, brief moment of solace. Finally, some like actually pro-Palestinian sentiment, which is, by the way, just the truth, which is hilarious that we are saying like, oh, something that is like pro-Palestine is being said. But it's just like someone is actually asking understandable questions about the glaringly obvious at the cleansing campaign. I literally was just like, oh, thank God. I was not listening to anything she said because I did not want to get even more mad. Also, I apologize to the pink hair guy, okay? I don't know what you're about, but, you know, sorry, you kind of were an unforeseen casualty in the situation. maybe I shouldn't have fucking been like, I don't know who the fuck you are. Shut the fuck up. You don't know anything. But it does seem like you were giving me some like NPC ass, like both sides arguments over and over again. And I don't really care in that moment. Okay. I'm sorry. Bro, don't apologize. No, it was just like, it was inappropriate. I probably shouldn't have fucking lasered him so goddamn hard. Okay. I am beginning to feel like this wasn't as bad as I thought it was, though, because like the bulk of this is like pretty solid. I did get the points out. I did talk about it. I did try to recenter the conversation towards the CUAD, Columbia University Apartheid divest. I did, you know, I desperately tried to talk about, you know, what is going on the ground. She was able to like offer some clarity. You're way better at getting your points out when you're screaming than when you're trying super hard to keep a civil law. Yeah, because when I'm civil, they're fucking eating my ass.
Okay, let Emily respond to that.
Everyone wants to criticize the IDF's response, but nobody wants to tell me what should Israel be doing to retaliate October 7th, eradicate Hamas from preventing another October 7th, and bring the hostages home.
I have an idea.
Do you have a solution?
I have an idea. Do not flatten Gaza and potentially pull your own hostages up from under the rubble, like have been done with thousands of Palestinians. That's a good idea. Yeah. Have you found any of them under the rubble?
So you're saying that you don't have an answer.
That is the answer.
So you
don't kill your own hostages.
But you're quick to condemn the IDF, but you don't have an answer.
How
about not killing the hostages?
Very interesting.
I have an answer.
Thank you for proving my point.
It's called the dissolution of the apartheid regime. That's what it's called. Dissolve the apartheid regime.
So what would you like to see happen,
Palestinians
Hassan?
breathing room. Do you not understand the English language? Dissolve the apartheid regime.
You need a Xanax, first of all. You need a Xanax. Okay, so should Israel...
You need a Xanax. Bitch, I just told you what I mean. That felt pretty good, too. She thought she ate that. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm fucking emotional and passionate about the country that you're defending slaughtering children every fucking day of the week. Okay. Yeah. I should have. Yeah. The best retort in that situation would be like, you need fucking lithium because you must be mentally ill if you think what Israel is doing is right. Okay. But I didn't say that. That's like shower conversation at that point.
Israel do
I'm
to
sorry,
the West Bank what they did to
Palestinians
Gaza?
have been ruthlessly slaughtered by the Israeli
Israel
state.
Give
It makes
back
me a
the
little
land
upset
so that it can
when
turn
someone is
into another
defending that.
Gaza? Is that what you...
Yeah. Okay. So...
Okay, so should Israel do
I'm
to
sorry,
the West Bank what they did to
Palestinians
Gaza?
have been ruthlessly slaughtered by the Israeli
Israel
state.
Give
It makes
back
me a
the
little
land
upset.
So that it can...
They should have fucking raised my voice a little bit. That's bullshit. Bro, you made her look stupid along with the black lady. Wait, what? No, I didn't make the lady look stupid.
Someone is defending that.
Gaza? Is that what you'd like to see? Another terrorist haven launching rockets all day instead of turning it to Singapore? Because that's what they did in 2005.
Wait, hold on. What is Singapore?
The billions of dollars in aid they turned into building tunnels. Is that what you'd like to see?
I don't know. Have I gone
Singapore every day?
Sorry,
what,
Emily,
is
the West Bank
open-air
supposed
prison?
to be Singapore?
What are you talking about?
Is the West Bank supposed to be Singapore?
The West Bank received... The West Bank has a port. They can import and export. Israel gave them a great piece of land. They received billions of dollars.
Okay, this was another one. This was another moment. When she said Israel gave them a great piece of land, I was like, Israel gave them? Israel gave them? Israel gave them? Are you out of your fucking mind? Israel gave them? Liberal Zionism falls apart so goddamn quick. By the way, at least I was able to fucking shut him up from trying to both sides of the situation a little bit. She doesn't even know her own goddamn talking points, dude.
Not only
Israel
from the U.S.,
gave them a great
but
piece of
Israel
land?
gave... Are you mad? They had a chance to rebuild, but they spent the last 15 plus years crying that they don't have enough land because there is never enough land for them instead of rebuilding. But that's okay. Build terrorist tunnels. Don't build hotels and don't rebuild civilization. Just build terrorist tunnels
Palestinians to have a nation state that they deserve by international law since the inception of the Israeli nation state. What you are saying is insane to me. the fact that you brought up the last 15 years as Palestinians crying is disgusting.
Oh, I have one more question.
You are a disgusting little monster who thinks that not offering contiguity to the Palestinians in the form of a state, which is under international law, is just simply Palestinians crying.
I have one question.
Okay?
This West Bank,
don't want a
Singapore.
two-state
Hold on.
solution.
You're a disgusting little monster. Dude, I wanted to say so much more. I wanted to say so much fucking more. I just... Piers was not having a good time with this. Not gonna lie, I hate watching debates like this. They fill me with anxiety because honestly, it's disgusting to watch someone lie so damn much in the face of someone who's very genuine and honest, and there's so many lies, you can't address them all. I think I did a pretty decent job of, like, not letting her get any fucking breathing room. I'm gonna be honest. Okay, I was actually very upset. I'll be honest. I was very upset with my own performance in the aftermath because, like, you can't get emotional because there's different audiences that you are talking to when you talk in a debate, right? Number one, you're talking to your side. So you can't be, like, capitulating. You can't be giving a fucking inch to people who are being monstrously obtuse and defending genocide for moral reasons and even from the perspective of optics. The other audience you're talking to is the side of those who are defending Israel. You're usually not going to be able to, convert them. But then there's also the less enthusiastic, less interested participants that are watching, the people that you actually can move in either direction. Those guys are less enthusiastic and not really interested in what the fuck's going on. And if they're not interested in what the fuck's going on 7 months into an ongoing ethnic cleansing campaign, then it's going to be really hard to shake them. And I know for a fact that, like, coming across as passionate in this situation means you got fucking quote unquote owned. You know what I mean? So because of that, because of my knowledge of how this works, because of how I understand how this works very well, I thought that I was doing worse as a consequence of being emotional, as a consequence of being passionate. Okay. But I do recognize now that it didn't come across as bad as I thought it was.
They want a one-state solution that eradicates the Israelis, which is not an option.
Fine. This West Bank, Singapore, what place does the settlements play in that? Please paint a picture of how the West Bank of Singapore, or whatever, Singapore of the West Bank, how does this illegal settlements fit into that?
I think you're completely missing. You're missing the picture.
Just explain to me how the settlements fit into that picture.
A piece of land. I'm explaining it.
Okay, I'm listening.
The picture is they got a great piece of land to turn into society. Instead of turning it into civilized society, Israel gave the land to Gaza. They
then why the Israeli
settlers?
It's not Israel's land to give. It's not Israel's land to give. It is not Israel's land to give.
There are no Jews or Israelis. There are no settlements in Gaza.
In the West Bank.
They gave it to
the West Bank.
Palestinians.
They're not in the West Bank.
I'm speaking about Gaza, and now you're
asking about West Bank because I was interested in knowing about Singapore.
I'm telling you that if Israel pulls out completely from the West Bank, if Israel pulls out from the West Bank, you can bet your ass it turns into the next Gaza. The world does not need two Gazas because one Gaza has already caused enough damage. If, however, Gaza decides to demand
every argument with Israel is about some hypothetical,
and they can have democracy,
Israel has to do a genocide because if Israel doesn't do a genocide, then the Gaza
there's no genocide. The only genocide is the Hamas charter that wants to eradicate the Jews.
Defensive genocide.
You know, it's interesting the word genocide because.
Yeah, here is where Piers really grinds my gears. Here's where he really fucking grinds my gears. It's true, though. I was very mad when I got back. I was so goddamn mad when I got back. I was so goddamn mad that I was literally like, I don't even know if I can go to the fucking gym right now. I'm so fucking pissed. I have to pee, and I don't want to miss this moment, but here, you'll see.
Hang on. It's interesting the word. It's interesting. Hang on. I would love to get a word in, please. Interesting the word genocide, because I've listened to all this fractious debate, everyone talking over each other. The truth is that actually only one side is publicly said that they wish to pursue a genocide, and that is Hamas. Hamas, after October the 7th, through their official spokesman on camera, said they wanted to do it again and again and again. That is the purest articulation of a genocide imaginable. And the one thing I never hear from the pro-Palestinian side is what Israel was actually... Hang on. No, don't interrupt me.
So one
I haven't asked you a question yet.
One Hamas guy...
Sorry, I need to ask you a question.
You're being a ridiculous person.
You're being a ridiculous person. I'm just saying, nobody ever tells me...
How many Israeli officials, even on your show, have said, we should keep doing what we have been doing to Gaza over and over again? How does that not register in the same genocidal intent? If you think what that dude was saying, which was, by the way, ridiculous what he was saying, the Hamas official was saying, is that we're going to do October 7th over and over again.
But he said it.
We are justified in doing it over and over again. Yes, I find that to be abhorrent. However, what you fail to recognize is that's the genocidal intent, but not Amalek. That's the genocidal intent, but not saying we are fighting human animals. And that's why we have to cut off their food, their water, and their electricity. That was Defense Minister Yoav Gallant
There we
who said
go with
that.
the lies
Benjamin
again.
Netanyahu
You're saying
has
Israel
routinely
cuts
talked
off their
about this over and over
electricity.
again.
They don't even
Israeli
provide
interior
their
security,
electricity.
Israeli,
You're saying they cut off their water. They don't cut off their water. You are spewing lies on national television.
Can you? I'm
I think so. Hang on.
Again,
you're talking over each other. Some of the comments.
Army that
there's no doubt,
aid
Emily.
To people they're at war with.
Some of the comments.
Israel is.
No, Piers, I'm not letting him spew misinformation.
Caring country on the fucking planet.
I
swear to God.
Start it again.
I love Piers being like, yeah, it's real genocidal if that one fucking Hamas dude, like fucking 7 months ago, being like, what Israel has done to us. What Israel has done to us gives us the justification to do 1,000 October 7s, and it would still be righteous, right? Like, him saying that is genocidal, but fucking Amalek is not. It's ridiculous. In these interviews, it may also be good to bring up the 2005 disengagement was literally done to prevent a Palestinian state. This was best explained by Sharon's advisor Dove. Put him on a diet. Weissglass, they withdraw as a unilateral move to sidestep the PLO and kill the U.S.'s roadmap. Yeah, the issue is that I don't think anybody's going to fucking listen to what's going on. You know what I mean? They're like, no, nobody's listening. Hey, Kaya, please, baby. Kaya, please. Quoting Israel is lying. Yeah. It's so goddamn unhinged, dude. Ay. You can tell the progress being made because the prevailing notion of withholding water and electricity went from, well, it's necessary to the desperate. Well, actually, we don't know that we don't control their resources. Yeah.
It's pointless. We're getting nowhere.
No, because
Thank
he's
you.
Did Yoav Gallant not say that? Israel's cutting off electricity,
Okay.
water, and aid.
Did Defense Minister Yoav Gallant say we are fighting human animals or not? Answer that question. Did Defense Minister Yoav Gallant say we are fighting human animals and we have to cut off their electricity, cut off their food, cut off their water?
Okay.
Yeah, the slight
you know what?
Israel,
I'm going to cut off. I'm going to cut off.
Yeah, what happened? Yeah, get on your phone. Maybe you'll find a quote in there that'll help you, dumbass. Fucking genocidal dumb fuck. Emily getting mad at you for lying when you literally just repeating verbatim what Yoav Gallant said on day one of the war. She doesn't even know her own country's lore. I know. She had to Google it to check, to then fucking turn around and be like, okay, maybe he did say that. The contrast of the scorched earth collective punishment takes on Gaza with their perpetual victimhood makes my blood boil every time. How could anyone with a conscience not get worked up at that? I know. It is the fucking arrogance. It is the unimaginable fucking arrogance that comes from the side that is also trying to defend, in the shittiest ways possible, an ongoing ethnic cleansing campaign. That is like the most mind-boggling, most mind-numbing aspect of this, okay? I can't believe you apologized to the pink hair guy. Stop. You deactivated the pink hair dude so effectively. Yeah, it's just like, sit down. Big boys are talking. You know what I mean? I was not letting that shit slide any longer, okay? Oh, well, both sides are at fault here. Anyway.
9% of their electricity. The rest is Hamas.
I'm going to cut off the
That's
debate
not
because
Israel.
we're getting absolutely
provides...
nowhere. But I appreciate everybody joining me. Thank you very much indeed.
He loves it. Look at his face. Look at his face. He fucking loves that shit, dude.
Well, the boring...
He's dumb, by the way, for putting this as like the crackhead Barney video because it's not going to do well. Emily and Piers are asking us on two different questions that cut him off while he's answering the other one's question, then accuse him of not answering. What a mess. Why is Piers Morgan bringing up October 7th Hassan when they already discussed 1 million times and he condemned it 1 million times? When Hassan calls her a demon, I fucking died laughing. As a Jew, I have to admit the only sensible person on the panel was Hassan. You did Ninja bad, bro. I mean, the comment above is discussing the cut. Yeah, I saw that there was a person. What's up with the abrupt cut at 28:13? Piers is so disingenuous. Why hasn't he talked about the 7 aid workers who were killed by Israel, most of who were British ex-military? What a coward. Is a good convo. Stay away. The narrative that student protesters are violent. Yeah, I mean, he wouldn't let me fucking... I did actually talk about that. That's the... I'm pretty sure the part that I got cut off on was literally me talking about, like, what the demands of the student protesters are and how they do not want to center themselves in the conversation. She shows pictures of Israeli hostage without limbs of the Palestinian mom who said, the arm belongs to my son, this leg belongs to my daughter. When in cut back, you were mentioning JVP. Yeah. It actually wasn't bad at all. I'll be honest. I think I was being much harder on myself, but maybe I'm wrong. We'll see what the broad reception is. But I don't even think that like Destiny's dick riders are going to look at this and be like, Hassan got owned here. They'll try to say that I was unhinged or whatever, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty obvious that I was like, there was a lot of fucking grenades being lobbed in my direction that I was able to counter effectively to the best of my ability when the fucking host is cutting me. Piers sucks as a moderator. Let's ask someone a question, then let them get 5 words in and let 4 people dog shit on them and not let them finish their point. And why did you edit 24 when Hassan brings up Jewish voice for peace? Anyway, I think you did well and you got your points across while being clear about your passion and investment in the conversation. But yeah, all things considered, it is pretty good. What is this? Fire fucking picture in a Fire Texas tweet. Pulitzer Prize winning photo. What starts here changes the world. What starts here changes the world. It starts with you and what you do each day. Thank you for making it your Texas. Thank you for making it our Texas. Yeah, that's awesome. Oh. All right. Not bad. Not bad. How has Piers watched this many debates on his show and still thinks the buffoons like Rabbi Shmuley and this girl have any reason on their side? Piers is the Joker. Okay? He went Joker mode a long time ago. All he cares about is, one, obviously the guest host like being cordial to him personally, but beyond that, he cares about clicks. He knows that Palestinian and Israeli discourse drive clicks and attention to his show. Okay? That's it. That's why he's doing it. He knows content. The pink-haired guy's media career aspirations ended at this moment. Anyway. Biden read pause off the teleprompter. We're cooked.
Do next. Imagine what we can do next. 4 more years. Pause. 4 more years. 4 more years. 4 more years. Imagine.
Pause. He's saying like, yo, that shit's about to get real gay. Pause. The guy who blasted will definitely create a podcast and your name will be mentioned every single day. Yeah, whatever.
What
the
we
edits
can do
are
next.
The edits are cooking. Yeah. Have you covered Trump lighting up the courtroom? No. What, with his ass? With his farts? The video of the Israeli hostage you mentioned, the one that was confirmed he was alive, was headlined in Israel's government channel as Hamas's psychological terror. They wanted people to forget the hostages even existed. It's a big pressure valve and the one thing that pushes Israeli Jews against the war. Yeah. I was trying to, I think I brought that up multiple times. I did bring that up multiple times to be like, listen, if you are understandably trying to bring back the hostages alive, you wouldn't be using it as a prop to fucking justify further bloodshed, which includes the hostages themselves. You're over here fucking saying bomb, bomb, bomb Gaza. Who the fuck's dying? It's the hostages that are dying. What? Ben-Gvir attacked by vicious anti-Semites? Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's so sweet. Yes. Yes. Sharmuta. The video of the hostage you talked about, did this protest around Bibi's house and Ben-Gvir happen to be there? Piers already yelled at the twink. Why did you do this again?
He'll be back to being here again.
It's so funny.
They can't make their minds up what they are.
Both of you are straight, and you're saying you're exhausted.
How do you know I'm straight? How dare you guess my sexuality?
Like, let's not play games here.
Answer one question. How many letters are there now in the official?
That's such a pointless question.
How many are there?
It's a flag that represents...
How many
I
letters?
don't even know.
How many are there?
I don't need
exactly
to know.
my point.
Maybe Piers liked it when I just said, I don't know who the fuck you are. Shut the fuck up. He's like, I agree with you. Shut up. Yeah, we talked about the eye stabbing vid from what do you call it? Of course, she had an Israel adjacent 9/11 tape.
20,000 dead in Gaza is what the piece says. A historic human toll, Israel's response, an all-out bombardment of Gaza and a ground invasion has killed almost 1 in 100 people in the Strip. But these numbers, the numbers of that 20,000 dead, that comes from the Gaza Health Ministry, which is controlled by Hamas. And
oh, God, I fucking hate these pieces of shit so goddamn much. This is, by the way, this is 4 months ago.
Know what Hamas is about. The Post is defending using them as a source, saying, quote, the Washington Post and other media outlets rely on numbers from the Gaza Health Ministry, as many international institutions, organizations, and global bodies did before the war. The ministry has proved reliable historically with direct access to hospital and morgues. Well, let's bring in social media influencer Emily Austin, who has just returned from Israel, a part of Israel that was right next to Gaza. When you see the Washington Post comfortably quoting statistics that come directly from Hamas, what does that make you feel?
First of all, thanks for having me. Honestly, to me, there's an equivalency between Hamas, Al-Qaeda, and ISIS, and I can't help but to question. If these reports were coming from Al-Qaeda, undoubtedly we'd deny it and be like, that's ludicrous. We don't believe in that. But now that it's coming from a different...
Bro, your own government fucking believes it. What are you talking about? God, these people are so fucking stupid, dude. Israel defenders have to literally get hit with the John Fetterman stroke gun before they can start making talking points about Israel. You know what I mean? Like, I swear to God, the only way, I feel like there's like a factory that these guys have to go through, like a factory assembly line where someone just bludgeons them in the fucking head until their prefrontal cortex, like the parts of their brain are just eviscerated, turned into mist. They have to be so fucking stupid to make these arguments, dude. Just straight up relying on Fox News' audience being just as Islamophobic as her to be like, what if Al-Qaeda was making these arguments? It's like, what if Al-Qaeda was using these numbers? Hey, dumb fuck. Israel and the American State Department used these numbers, okay? I feel this is demeaning to stupid people to call her stupid. There's 100% intent behind this. No, I don't think they're good. That's my point. I don't think that they're like, you can be evil and be good at the same time. Okay? You could be a good propagandist while also being evil. The problem is most defenders of Israel have to be so voluntarily stupid to even go out and try to defend unconscionable things, right? So that stupidity makes them bad at propagandizing their position. Part of the reason is because of arrogance, sheer arrogance that stems from the comfortable bosom of the Western media in perpetuity. If the West has never actually contested anything that you've put forward and have completely gone along with all the lies that you have told for years and years and years, yeah, you're going to be a little untrained. That's it. Chatter is right. This is a professionally trained hospitalist, not just some dumb person. She brings up the exact same talking points from 2006, like the Singapore Gaza bullshit. You only learn from that kind of nonsense from a Hasbara course that hasn't been updated since 2010. But that's my point. The fact that the Hasbara courses haven't been trained, haven't been like reconfigured since 2006 or 2010 is unironically the point I'm making. This is a very different media environment, and many people who dick ride Israel do not comprehend that. They literally think it's 2007 right now, and you can get away with saying whatever unhinged shit you can, and that people haven't seen Israel's actions. They have. That's all it took. The big academic Zionists are scrambling right now to address this gap. They are finally talking about settler colonialism from a pro-Zionist view. I don't know what he cut out of that. I don't know what they cut out. I don't remember. But I'll quote tweet it. The ethnic cleansing of Palestinians and the students peacefully protesting it. Not most uncensored. Oh, anyway, you're supposed to record yourself for this very same reason. I mean, if I was you, I'd tell Piers you're never coming back if he edits you out again. I mean, I'm not even as mad as you guys are at the fucking edit, because I don't really remember what he cut out of it.
Back and forth masturbation. I've heard.
No, just press him about it next time. I mean, I still posted it, but it's so funny that he cut out the one part of the panel when you try bringing it back to the actual topic it was supposed to be about. Yeah. Emily is a prager, you girly. Yeah. All right. So we are now going to USC. Aerial view of USC students blocking DPS car with detained student inside. USC is shutting its gates due to the ongoing clash between students and campus police of the Palestinian Solidarity Camp. Yeah. Love that the Zionists get to claim the protesters are doing it all for clout while literally getting paid to do press tours defending ethnic cleansing. Exactly. There is no like financial imperative behind defending Palestinians. The Palestinian side is not the moneyed side. Okay? No fucking university, as far as I know, has had donors pull out because of their unimaginably pro-Israel positions. As a matter of fact, the opposite of that has happened. Donors being like, oh yeah, if you don't kill these fucking students, I'm pulling out. I'm no longer funding your goddamn institution. What is this?
Show you footage from an undercover Al Jazeera investigation that was actually blocked from release in the United States and then subsequently leaked online.
There's basically just like Noah Pollock coming into the book. There are these jihadis who basically support suicide bombing, and they're at a campus, and you have to stop them. You know what my worst nightmare is? I'm actually not kidding. It's a photo of Dion and I together, and we're just like clearly identifiable, and they're like, oh, we're these like traitors who sold out to the Jewish conspiracy for money. I'm like, we did. We cost $50,000 plus benefits.
The way you're putting it kind of sounds a bit like astroturfing.
No. This is astroturfing. No, this is actually there's a bus.
What does that mean?
So it's when you set up things.
It's the difference between grassroots and astroturf.
It's not that astroturfing is wrong. It's just that, like, your astroturf has to be like committed.
Yeah, this video looks pretty old. It's because it's from a banned Al Jazeera documentary that had a lot of political repercussions for Qatar, as a matter of fact. And they were never allowed to air this. It's called, I believe it's called The Lobby. Yeah. It's on YouTube. We should watch it. My friend, we have.
We have our people?
No, not.
We support democratic society, but if you don't want to, we denounce extremist groups. SJP, what do you think of this?
You agree? Resistance? Child suicide bombers?
We don't support radical Islamic terrorism in this country. We don't support suicide bombers. Cowards who kill children and women. They leave orphans. We don't support that.
Kill babies in strollers. That'll bring peace. Yeah, Palestinian terrorists all over Israel. That would be it.
Real baby killers, these terrorists. They kill women, they kill children, they don't care about anything. Rape women too, all the time.
Yeah, let's head back to headquarters for debriefing and cocktails.
Why are these people like this? Bro, it's a full throttle operation. Okay? The other side has real momentum. The Palestinian side has real numbers now. That's why they're like in the past, the Palestinian side didn't have any momentum at all. And it was like seen as an edge case. That's why there's a concept within progressive circles as progressive except for Palestine. Okay? So this kind of activity would be very successful. You could just like pay a couple protesters to go, hold up placards and all this shit. Okay? And you know, they would create momentum surrounding the pro-Israeli side. However, nowadays there is not enough people that you can pay to go out there and do this shit. And you don't have enough zealots who will do this shit. Okay? Yeah, the lobby, a 4-part investigation. It was uploaded by, it was an Al Jazeera documentary. It was leaked to the Electronic Intifada that actually released it after the American government applied public pressure and private pressure to the fucking state, to Qatar, to stop them from releasing this. The British version of it was released early on. And then Electronic Intifada released the full video. I tried to re-navigate the shit show to the main point of contention. I'm not trying to be a little bitch, but is there a mistake? Is it supposed to say shit show? Yes. I'm saying it was a shit slinging back and forth. It was a shit show. It was chaotic. Yeah, no, I used the correct word there. Oh, I said shit how instead of shit show? Shit. God damn it. Yeah, they're violently arresting students now. Hell yeah, dude. Pig fuckers. Absolute fucking piglets, dude. Oinking.
What's happening?
Anti-Semitism on campuses in the United States is reminiscent of what happened in German universities. The kids are going to be all right, I think. And they're showing that right now. The kids are all right. Yep. USC has officially closed their campus gates due to the demonstration. Anyone stopping by should be prepared to show an ID. Please continue to avoid the center of campus unless you have a class. A rally by pro-Palestinian demonstrators turned chaotic at USC's Alumni Park as police confronted the protesters who attempted to set up an encampment on campus. If you were open to having a rabbi for Palestine, unlike Jessica Rosenberg, I can see if my group has connections. Brother, I literally am potentially going to fly out someone who's in rabbinical school right now, Lolo's brother. What's up? Oh, it looks beautiful, Mom. Yeah. The protester has been released after police violence did nothing to move the brave protesters surrounding the car. Oh, they arrested a fucking like a what are they called? Protest guardian or whatever. If you see someone wearing that vest, that means they're one of the official sanctioned designated person that is a protest marshal. No, not a legal observer. Sometimes they are legal observers as well, but that's probably a protest marshal. He's part of the organizing team that put the protest together. Their job is to literally make sure that like when people are saying unhinged anti-Semitic shit or whatever, to like tell them to leave and shut the fuck up, and that there's no room for that kind of thing. For those of you who don't know, that's the whole, that like the dudes in the vests are literally to keep the protest centered on the goals of the organizers and keep it within the boundaries, within the confines. They are literally there to stop infiltrators, to stop agitators, to de-escalate against counter protesters, that sort of thing. So the fact that they actually arrested one of them is pretty nutty to begin with. It's wild to me. It's wild to me that the demands coming from fascists in the United States of America is to basically do Israel shit on U.S. soil at the behest of Israel to fucking American citizens. What the hell is going on? You can see a few of the students. I've removed the audio to protect those speaking in the background. They're putting them in the paddy wagon. In New York, they arrested legal observers too, which is crazy. Yeah. History never looks favorably upon those who want to call on the National Guard or police to stop student protests. People never fucking learn. I don't think people care. I think people care more about just like an immediate reaction and immediately getting like exactly what they want. They just want the state to be violent to those who are offensive to their sensibilities. They're not thinking about like 10 years in the future and how this is going to look. Also, nobody ever gets punished for their fucking pro-war takes in this country. So why should they even feel bad? Why should they even think about the future? There is no social capital that you're expending when you are on the side of the American state, when you are demanding more state violence be done to those who are actually critical of the state. It just doesn't work that way. As a matter of fact, there is social capital to gain as a consequence of being on the side of the state. Nah, the average Republican is loving this shit and hope it escalates. They can lie and say they won't, but they all want to see blue-haired libs get smashed in the pavement. Exactly. My dad said the rhetoric was exactly the same during the Vietnam protests. Yeah, of course. History doesn't look favorably at this bullshit. And the reality is, like, I mean, look, let me ask you. How many people do you know historically as like historical figures that was openly championing the death and destruction at Kent State? Even when people talk about Kent State, right? You don't really know who was advocating for it. They don't really talk about it that much. It's not exactly seen as like a prescient part of the conversation. It's not seen as a salient part of the conversation. It's not like it's unimportant. And that is by design. It is because police violence is the norm, and demanding more police violence in this circumstance is not going to hurt your chances. It's probably going to make your chances better in media, as a matter of fact. Legal observers write down everything that they see in a protest in order to have an account in case someone gets arrested, to the people that have been asking. Thank you, Donna Knock. So, yeah. Chatters need to learn about Kent State. It's not that surprising the marshal got arrested. I'm a marshal at the protest in Melbourne, and the cops regularly target us because we're usually in close proximity to the cops. In order for nonviolence to work, your opponent must have a conscience. The United States has none. It's true. It is true. Michael Penis was at Columbia, by the way. Like, why is the Speaker of the House going to Columbia University? Why is this fucking Louisiana demon going to Columbia University to deliver a speech about like how pro-Israel college students are having their feelings hurt on campus? Okay, because that's what this is. This isn't about like any kind of real violence or anything else. It's just about the feelings. Okay, this is what I said earlier today. On the campus protest news cycle, every single media outlet that centers its coverage on the feelings of students who defend Israel and not about the mass graves being uncovered in Gaza is doing so deliberately. The pro-Palestinian students want the attention to remain on Gaza. That's why you rarely ever hear from the fucking pro-Palestinian students. You only hear from dudes who are like, yeah, I was waving my fucking big-ass Israel flag around directly inside of the fucking camp, and then they surrounded me and scared me. Meanwhile, the surrounding and scaring argument that they make is this, by the way. They're saying Jews are being cornered on campus. By who? Other Jewish students, of course, anti-Zionist Jewish students, of course, but, you know, Jews are being surrounded on campus. Here's the perfect synopsis, okay? Here's the perfect summarization of all of the events that have unfolded. 1, random group off campus singing Yakasam, Make Us Proud, burn Tel Aviv into the ground, you know, Hamas, we love you, that kind of shit, right? Which is, of course, unhinged. Is unhinged. You can't fucking say, you can't say shit like that. I get it. It's bad optics. And that's precisely the reason why this is not a sanctioned protest that is literally on the fucking college campus. This has nothing to do with the Columbia University college campus at all. Okay? So that's irrelevant to the main point of contention. This, on the other hand, is from the actual Columbia University campus protest. Here it is.
Everyone, can I get everyone to form a...
Stop saying based boo-hoo without even fucking knowing if that is an AstroTurf protest that, like, people paid. Okay? Stop. Bad optics to kill 30K people? No, it doesn't. Make no mistake. Many of you are new to this game. Many of you are new. I've been saying this since October 7. You will never be able to be even as fractionally callous as the average defender of Israel. You cannot be callous. If you care about the Palestinians, you have to be careful. Okay? Stop. Many of you mistake the momentum here for permission. Israel defenders can say whatever the fuck they want, and they will never get an ounce of scrutiny from the mainstream media. You even say something that can be remotely misconstrued, you will get pounced on. You will be used against the Palestinian movement. I've been saying this since October 7th. Okay? I've been saying this since October 7th. Do not mistake the immediate momentum and the movement growing, the pro-Palestinian movement growing for an opportunity to be as callous as the average defender of Israel. That's never going to go well for you. Okay? It's ridiculous. Your goal in protest is to bring awareness to the conditions of the Palestinians. Your goal in your protest is not to feel cool and feel good and blow off some fucking steam. So every step you take should be calculated. Every effort you make in that direction should be as morally clear as possible. Because even when you are very aware of your surroundings, even when you are, this is a really good take, usually you are unhinged. No, I'm not. There's a reason why the only thing that mainstream media wrote about me is claiming that I was in support of a position that I was diametrically opposed to, which is killing babies. Okay? Oh, fuck you. God damn it. Not as unhinged as the top of the hour ad break. I can't believe that worked. I got cooked. Okay? But you shouldn't get cooked at the top of the hour by the 3-minute ad break. You should avoid the top of the hour ad break by subscribing for $5 or for free. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. Anyway, as I was saying, 23 months sub caught me slipping, dude. Fuck me up. Here is actually footage from a real protest internally. I gotta pee.
Everyone, can I get everyone to form a human chain right here, please? We have Zionists that have entered. Mic check! Repeat after me. We have Zionists. Who have entered the camp. We are going to create a human chain. Where I am standing. So that they do not pass this point. And infringe upon our privacy. And try to disrupt our community. Please join me in this chain.
Do you see how hostile this is? And you're asking me not to record?
Walk and take a step forward.
Yeah, I absolutely feel threatened right now.
So that we can start to push them out of the camp. One step forward. Another step forward.
So this right here is literally, no, don't say fucking cringe. Shut up. These are all like 18-year-olds, okay? These are all fucking 18-year-olds. Shut up. They're doing so much more than you. Okay, the reason why they're speaking in unison is called, I think it's called like the people's microphone or something. Like they're trying to repeat whatever the protester, whatever the protest marshal is saying to as broad of a group as possible. Okay, that's the whole goal. And also, ultimately, yeah, the human microphone. So the goal here is to literally make sure that this agitator doesn't go directly into the encampment and one, film people without their consent and try to get their fucking faces on camera so they can engage in doxing operations, as they have done time and time again since October 8, for the record, because all of those fucking the campus was literally littered with Stop Anti-Semitism and all these other fucking Hasbara troll operations, openly doxing fucking students, calling them vile anti-Semites. Okay? The other reason is because people go in to agitate. The people go in to be like, yeah, I love Hamas. I want to kill as many Jews as possible. That's why I'm protesting. And they don't want that. They obviously don't want that because, one, they don't believe that, the protesters. And two, there is a reason why people pay others to go and agitate. Okay? Agent provocateurs is the name. This happens in every protest. So every organizing unit, every organizing body that is aware of how these things work, try to shield from that happening as best as they can. That's precisely what they're doing here. This is a successful way to deal with it. Agent Jonah bot. I love Israel, Star of David. Thank you, Agent Jonah. Anyway, so yeah, here.
You see how hostile this is? And you're asking me not to record?
Walk and take a step forward.
Yeah, I absolutely feel threatened right now.
So that we can start to push them out of the camp. One step forward.
The other reason is because provocateurs can also try to start fights directly and literally. Like, why would you want your friends who are there engaging in civil disobedience in a peaceful act of protest? Why would you want their lives to be harmed by some fucking random dickhead? TYT covered this like they were all anti-Semitic. I don't care. Fuck TYT. And fuck anyone and everyone that looked to the actions at the Columbia University student protests and said that they were fucking anti-Semitic. Capitulating to the right-wing framing in this situation is unimaginably stupid. Okay? I don't care. There are certain red lines that I have. Okay? And I will not allow those red lines to be fucking crossed on this broadcast and wherever I may appear. Okay? No both sidesing a genocide. No capitulation and caving to people who are weaponizing serious claims of anti-Semitism, launching them against literally Jewish anti-Zionists who are protesting against Israel. It's bullshit. Okay? That's why I was very hard on my stance as it pertained to from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Okay? You think that's anti-Semitic? Sorry, I don't agree with you. And for the record, there are people who I adore and admire and think are brilliant and brave and courageous who I have disagreements with on this issue. Norm Finkelstein has said the optics of from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free are too scary for the average person. But even Norm understands, a person who I have endless amounts of respect for, especially as it pertains to the plight of Palestinians, and him being like the eminent chronicler of the ethnic cleansing that Palestinians have withstood. Okay. Ultimately, even if I have a disagreement with him, he also recognizes that it's like, he doesn't say it's anti-Semitic. He's just said that it scares people. And there are a lot of people who said it scares people. And that's understandable. But the reality is, I'm not going to fucking, that's ridiculous. Like, that's not an area that I'm willing to concede on. Nice to see OSINT defender being consistent on his fascist takes. Yeah, and then the other thing they have is this. Al-Qassam's next targets. That's it. That's it. This is someone who thinks they're being based, okay? And they're not. They're not. That's it. She's a Zionist? Oh, that's not a student? Wait, I thought that was no, she's wearing a fucking keffiyeh, hiding her face, bro. Come on. It's most likely either an agitator or a protester who is, you know, thinking that they're being based. They're doing like parachute memes and shit like that. No one wears a keffiyeh like that. I mean, I know, but who knows? Doesn't matter. Even if this was at the heart of the fucking protest and it wasn't a plant and it was someone who literally was there with that fucking cardboard cutout. This hyper focusing on this and making it seem like this is representative of the broader movement, okay, is idiotic. And it is done exactly in the same fucking way that it has always been done. This is what they did with the Black Lives Matter protesters. Oh no, they're not protesting about police indiscriminately killing black people or disproportionately targeting black people. They're not protesting about police brutality. They're actually protesting to kill the police and to kill white people. That was not the case. That was never the case. So things like this are done all the time. That it's up to you to parse through it. It's up to you to recognize that this does not reflect the broader movement. Okay? That dipshit is the worst OSINT account by far. He has to post more retractions than anyone. Doesn't know how to geolocate for himself, so he has to wait until people with brains do it. He's Mr. 30 minutes late of OSINT Twitter. Yeah, he's fucking awful. Her name is Logan Levkov. She's a Zionist. I don't know. I don't care. What is this?
Here, a demonstrator points at pro-Israel students while holding a sign that reads, Al-Qassam's next targets.
Okay, that's not funny, but it's totally funny, and I need to tell you why it's funny. This is why it's funny. So apparently...
Yeah, I mean, we don't know if this is that. We don't know if this is a fake protester or not. Okay, this is not verified. The Shirion Collective thing is real, but that's from months ago. Okay? It's literally from a different...
They claim to be a surveillance net.
Yeah, this is from months ago. This is from months ago. Okay? We don't know if this is real or not.
To be planting people within all of the...
That's not proof. For the record. Bro, I don't care. Anyway. Don't fucking send me stupid ass links about Brianna Wu, okay? Brianna Wu fucking talking about how she's a victim again and then pumping it as much as possible. A chatter asked if she was Asian. I say she's not. She's a white woman. That's it. Yeah, Brianna Wu Megalol. Please stop. Look at who's at Columbia. Remember, this is apparently about anti-Semitism. Yeah, I saw it. Charlatan. I hate these motherfuckers, dude. I hate these motherfuckers more than I'll be honest with you. I hate these co-opters who are openly anti-Semitic, who are using this as a fucking opportunity to actually just do more anti-Semitic propaganda, using the plight of the Palestinians for their own fucking material gain. I hate them more than I hate the ultra-Zionists. Okay? That's it. I hate them more than I hate the ultra-Zionists. 100%. That's a fucking Nazi. Fuck that guy. Insincere assholes. What? What is this? Hassan, please stop. Anti-Semitism doesn't exist. No one cares if you're a Jew. Shut the fuck up. Anti-Semitism absolutely does exist. The fuck do you mean? Oh my God. How do protesters stop people like that from spewing bad shit at a protest? That's what the protest marshals are there for.
You're committing assault! This is illegal! You're committing...
Jews run the world. That's why they support Israel. Sure, chatter. Eat the ban. Yeah, dude. Jews run the world. That's why anti-Zionist Jews are getting fucking brutalized by cops all around the country, you know? That's how hard they run the world. Never give a fucking ounce to these dummies, okay? It goes way beyond. These fucking losers, I have some respect for you, but not enough to not hate you. Supporting Palestine is the same as saying you want all Jews dead and out of Israel. I hope you're banned from coming here. Brother, my name is Hassan. I'm of Muslim background. I literally have been a fucking avid supporter of the Palestinian emancipation, which I know is a just cause for publicly, at least, for the past 10 years. If you think that I would have an easy time going to Israel, I don't know what the fuck to tell you, okay? And no, supporting Palestine is not the same as saying you want all the Jews dead and out of Israel. I hope you understand that. Maybe if you have an ounce of fucking respect for me, as you claim you are, as you claim you have, then you will recognize that. It has nothing to do with that at all. Just like abolishing and ending the apartheid regime in South Africa was not about killing white people. Okay? This guy's a fairly well-known kook who's not part of the campus protest. There are some people who see cameras and rush towards them with their crazy bullshit. Yeah. People who fucking act like this guy who we saw, for the record, at the Trump protest as well. Like people that think that these like objectively anti-Semitic fascist freaks have anything to do with the fucking Columbia students are so either disingenuous or they are just like deluded and very dumb. ABC actually covering pro-Palestinian Jewish students talking about anti-Semitism being weaponized.
It's important to remember that being uncomfortable is different than being unsafe. Months ago, I was sprayed with a noxious chemical on this campus. Multiple of my friends were hospitalized following the attack. I was bedridden for a couple days, and I felt extremely unsafe on my own campus. I feel unsafe when Columbia professors like Shai David tell me I'll be on the last train to Auschwitz and then try to get into my university. And I think I empathize with individuals who feel uncomfortable with certain rhetoric, but I remind you that we live in a country and we go to attend a university that extremely values free speech, open dialogue, and rhetoric, and I would encourage everyone to listen to a variety of perspectives and to analyze what it means to not like something or disagree with something.
How can I not be anti-Semit if their Jewish state, which proves them houses for free, is being brutal and animalistic against pigs as they saw what do you want me to do? No, dude, they're not doing this for fucking Judaism. And you have to remember that this is like saying ISIS is actually true Islam, okay? If you think Israel's actions have anything to do with Judaism, then you must be a believer that ISIS is doing it for the true version of Islam as well, okay? The anger and resentment I feel towards Israel is because it is a Judeo-supremacist ethno-state that actually tries to claim that they are doing all of this for the safety of Jews and for Judaism as a whole. It's bullshit. You're eating their propaganda for no fucking reason. It's ridiculous. Israel is not a representation. Israel is not a representation of Jewish values. Israel is not a representation, and Zionism is not a representation of Judaism, just like Saudi Arabia is not a representation of Islam. If Saudi Arabia was a representation of Islam, then they wouldn't be killing so many fucking Muslims elsewhere in the region. Okay? The reason why, depending on who you're talking to, people conflate Zionism with Judaism is either to, one, offer a little bit of cover for the actions of Israel so they can cynically say, oh, it's anti-Semitic to criticize Israel. It doesn't work anymore, though, because everybody recognizes now that, like, Israel's gone above and beyond. The real scary part about it, the real scary aspect here, as far as anti-Semitism, is that there are many people who see that and go, well, Israel says they're doing it for Judaism, and they don't think about it critically, like this chatter here. This is why I always say, okay, this is why I always say, if every single American Jew turned around and became like incredibly vociferous, very loud and proud anti-Zionists, America would still fund and facilitate what Israel is doing. which is the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians. Jews are not the reason why America supports Israel. Judaism is not the reason why America supports Israel. America's interest in Israel has always been a strategic one that benefits our State Department needs in the region, a destabilizing force, a powerful military that you can use, a powerful tool of espionage that you can use, an unsinkable aircraft carrier in a resource-rich region. There is also a shit ton more rabid Zionists in this country that are of evangelical Christian background. There are at least 10 times more Zionist evangelicals that are incredibly rabid and more often than not anti-Semitic themselves that are super pro-Israel for a multitude of different reasons. One of the more obvious ones being that they believe in the end times prophecy. There are probably 10x more evangelical megachurch attending anti-Semitic religious wingnut Zionists that are Christian, evangelical Christians in the South than there are American Jews who are Zionists.
Versus to actively be in a position of being unsafe. Because when you are arrested, dragged out in zip ties, and have red marks on your wrists for days after the fact, when you have a seizure in jail, like one of my friends did, when you have an asthma attack in jail, when you have your wrist dislocated, that is what being unsafe is.
The slurs being thrown from either side are egregious, but often the experience of anti-Zionist Jews and Palestinians especially is left out of the equation. These slurs, I myself, and I can only imagine how my Palestinian peers feel, have been racially profiled, harassed on the streets. Barnard students' hijabs have been pulled off of them. They've been questioned. The anti-Muslim hatred has not been acknowledged in any certain terms by this university. And I find it unacceptable that this unilateral focus from the press.
Why does the United States?
And most of the targeting that I've experienced, almost all of it, has actually come from my supposed Jewish community who have abandoned and excluded many of us on the basis of our political convictions. So it is our own who are labeling us as disgraces, and these are some of the most hurtful and...
Yeah, there are more evangelical Zionists in the U.S. alone than there are Jews, Zionists or not, in the entire world. I don't understand how people see that and still think this is a Jewish problem. Exactly the point.
Deeply anti-Semitic remarks that I've ever been on the other side of.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news.
Anyway, I had a convo with my dad about the genocide in Gaza and he agreed with pretty much everything, but then says the reason for U.S. support is due to powerful Jews in power in America. Very frustrating. Yeah, a lot of people who are pro-Israel believe this, and a lot of people who are anti-Israel believe it too. And a part of the reason why people believe it is because that's Israeli propaganda. Israel literally is like consistently being like, yeah, no, we are doing this for Judaism. We're doing this for Judaism. We're doing this for Judaism. We are the representative of all the Jews. Source, trust my arse. You think that the number that we pointed to, that there are more evangelical Zionists than there are Jews internationally, is a made-up number? Do you know the number of evangelicals in this country? What the fuck are you talking about? There are 90 to 100 million evangelical Christians in this country. Okay? 100 million. If it's fucking just 15 to 20% of that number that is evangelical Zionists, which, by the way, that number is higher, then you recognize that there are more evangelical Zionists than there are Jewish people as a whole. Zionist Jews, anti-Zionist Jews, that's it. There's like 16 million Jews on the planet, chatter. What the fuck are you talking about? Chatter, don't trust them. We do control the world. The global Jewish hive mind is laughing at y'all now. Yeah. This shit from yesterday was so fucking funny. Dumbass just proved that the protests are safe for Jews while trying to prove the opposite. Yeah, we watched this. It was very funny. We covered this yesterday extensively. Once again, reminding Chatter that Jewish anti-Zionists are some of our strongest and most radical organizers. The Israeli state is not Judaism, and it is insulting to a long, rich history of progressive Jewish organizing, from sparking the New York City rent strikes in the Lower East Side to socialist co-ops, cooperative housing, the Jewish Labor Congress, to the uprisings against pogroms, etc. It's so incredibly insulting. Yeah, that's the other part of this conversation, is that, like, in the very long history of Judaism, okay, Jews have always been at the fucking forefront of social justice for understandable reasons. Half the fucking time, especially in the early days of Christianity, they were the ones being slaughtered directly. That's why it's crazy when people are just like, no, you don't understand, dude. I hope you realize you're actively trying to divide people, but you and your mods don't give a shit. Fuck it. Fuck it though, free Palestine. Okay, bro, if you're fucking pro-Palestinian, I don't know who the fuck you think I'm trying to divide. If you are upset about the fact that I am correctly not attributing Israel's actions to Judaism, then yeah, the unfortunate reality here is that, like, as much as I wish for those chatters to fucking have a come to Jesus moment and reckon with the truth, okay? Yeah, there is no space in this community for anti-Semitism. It's not going to happen. Now, you have the option to not have weird anti-Semitic tendencies. We are all on a journey, after all, where we can all learn from our past mistakes, get better educated. If your chat was a person, it'd be the dude in your friend group who's cool as fuck but scares the host constantly and can't be invited to anything larger than kickbacks because you have to smack him and yell at him constantly. Yeah. Anyway.
States support Israel. Well, there's a history, and a very interesting one. It actually goes back a long time. One thing to remember is that Christian Zionism is a very powerful force, which goes back long before Jewish Zionism. In England, particularly, Christian Zionism was a powerful force among British elites.
And this motherfucker knows he was there, bro. Okay? He was there when Judaism was invented. Do you understand? He was literally there for the Balfour Declaration. He was like, I feel like this is going to be weaponized against the Palestinian population that lives there. That's right. He was there. He was there, bro. He was homies with Moses. That's how he knows.
It's part of the motivation for the Balfour Declaration and for Britain.
I told you. He's talking from personal experience, big dog. Not Tyler Brokley. Little Angloid pause on this issue to be like, well, it's O for clout. I mean, that's what we're all doing, aren't we? And it's like, yeah, it's not Tyler Oakley. Tyler Oakley's based and is pro-BDS and fucking anti-Zionist. This guy, on the other hand, is Tyler Brokley. Exactly.
Well, isn't that what this show is also doing? Because you're talking.
Anyway, let's get back to this guy unearthing ancient tomes that he wrote, as a matter of fact.
Support for Jewish colonization of Israel. Remember, the Bible said, you know, and that's a big part of British elite culture. Same in the United States. Woodrow Wilson was a devout Christian who read the Bible every day. So did Harry Truman. In the Roosevelt administration, one of the leading officials, Harold Ickes, once described the return of the Jews to Palestine as the greatest event in history. It's realizing the lesson of the Bible. These are deeply religious countries in which the biblical commands, so-called, are taken quite literally. Also, this is just part of colonization. This is the last phase of European colonization. And notice that the countries that are most strongly in support of Israel are not just the United States. It's the United States, Australia, and Canada, the offshoots of England, Anglosphere sometimes called, unusual forms of imperialism. These are settler colonial societies, societies in which not like India, not like the British in India, say. Societies, South Africa was a little like this, or Algeria under the French. Settler colonial societies in which the settlers came in, essentially eliminated the native population. Also,
someone said, please stop defending Palestine. They're Muslims, and everyone knows Islam is evil.
Driven by religious principles, very religious groups driven by Christian Zionism. Those are major cultural factors. There are also significant geostrategic factors. You go back to 1948.
I love Noam Chomsky speaking on this shit because, like, you can't be like, bro, he's anti-Semitic. Like I said, he invented Judaism, okay? He was there, homied up with Moses. You can't be talking about a dude who literally saw the Red Sea get parted, okay, and walked through the Red Sea and be like, that's an anti-Semitic guy. It's like, no, dude, he did that. He was there.
There was actually a split between the State Department and the Pentagon in the United States over how to react to the new state of Israel. The State Department was not committed strongly to Israeli conquests, the establishment of the state, and was concerned about the refugees. It wanted an implementation of the refugee problem. The Pentagon, on the other hand, was very impressed with Israel's military potential. The Israeli military successes, if you look back at the internal record and declassified, the Joint Chiefs of Staff described Israel as the second largest military force in the region after Turkey and a potential base for U.S. power in the region. That continued. Can't run through the whole record, but in 1958, when there was a serious crisis in the region, Israel was the only state that strongly cooperated with Britain and the United States, and it won plenty of support from the governments and the military for that reason. 1967 is when the current relations with Israel were pretty much established. Israel performed a major service to the United States by destroying a secular Arab nationalism, a major enemy of the United States, and supporting radical Islam, which the U.S. supported. And it continues right until the present. Right now, we saw an example of that just during the latest Gaza attack. You recall that at one point, Israel began to run out of munitions during the assault, despite the fact that it's armed to the teeth. The United States provided Israel with additional munitions through the Pentagon. And notice where they were taken from. These were U.S. munitions pre-positioned in Israel for eventual use by U.S. forces. One of many signs of how Israel is regarded as essentially a military offshoot of the United States. Very close intelligence relations that go way back, many other connections. And the media tend to take up, to support.
Wow, this video must be very new because it talks about war in Gaza. Would you know it? It's crazy to think about, but it's actually 20 years old. I mean, it's re-uploaded from 2016, but I'm pretty sure, judging by the way he looks here, he doesn't look like a druid at this point. Pretty sure it's from 2004 or some shit. Bro was like 20 when Israel even spawned. Apologies for spam before. You really wanted to see it. Sometimes I hate you, my himbo, because you look at moments when you're their most influential, but then make yourself feel bad about how much you could dominate conversations, embrace yourself, and use that power.
Policy of the government with very few, kind of little questioning around the edges, but basically accept the policy. So, for example, take another issue. Take the U.S. invasion of Iraq. You cannot find the phrase U.S. invasion of Iraq in the U.S. media.
there was obviously an invasion, a blatant act of aggression, a textbook case of, well, that's Nuremberg trials called the supreme international crime. Cannot be mentioned. President Obama is praised as an opponent of the invasion. And what did he say? He said it's a mistake. It's a strategic blunder.
What did he do? Well, he re-upped on that support, baby. Pretty sure this is 2014. Yeah, it's probably only 10 years old. Sorry, which is crazy how much he is like, how much he's aged, if that's the case.
We're not going to get away with it. Now, that's the kind of opposition that you heard from the German general staff during Hitler's invasion of Russia. It's a blunder. Shouldn't do it. Should knock off England first. That's regarded as opposition. Same in Vietnam. There's now a commemoration underway, big commemoration of U.S. sacrifices in Vietnam. Try to find the phrase U.S. invasion of South Vietnam there or anywhere in the past year since 1961 when it took place. Non-existent, maybe on Democracy Now, what I write, but way out at the fringe. And this is not unique to the United States. Take, say, Britain. Right now there's interesting debates in the British literary journals, like the Times Literary Supplement, as to whether Britain should finally begin to recognize the genocidal, the word that's used, genocidal character of British colonization hundreds of years ago. Should Britain begin to face it? You can ask that question in many places. The tendency of the intellectual community to go along like a herd in support of state power, private power, is just overwhelming. Intellectuals like to think of themselves as dissident, critical, courageous, standing up against power. Absolutely untrue. You look at the historical record, that's a small fringe, and they're usually punished. The mainstream tends to be what was once called a herd of independent minds, marching in support of state power. Nothing new here. Unfortunate, you have to fight against it, not new.
Just watched your Piers interview and you did great, man. Sure, it may be aggressive, but you made your point across with 3 people attacking you at the same time. Keep doing what you do, brother. Yeah, apparently my manager's been getting fucking emails nonstop with fawning reviews about the appearance itself. Yeah. Management still hate you though? No. I'm being serious. No, my manager doesn't hate me. I love my manager. Puts up with a lot of shit. Bro, the Piers interview just hit the timeline. Bangers after bangers supporting you. Yeah. Like I said, I was a little worried about the public response because I did lose my cool, I will admit. But I think people definitely understand why I lost my fucking cool because, that shit was nutty. I mean, it was a fucking 3v1. Piers responded to me. What did he say? Oh, I forgot to mention this. This is a funny take from Brace. Well, from Mehmet. Wait, what is this? What's Piers saying? Hi, Hassan. This is pathetic. We cut the bit where I tell you we have a clip of you talking about the students and it turns out they didn't do their tech care. Oh, shit. That's true. He's right. I forgot about it. Well, I'll just eat it, I guess. This is why I was saying, I don't really remember what he fucking cut me off on. But, I mean, I'm honest. I'll Tom Morello being base as always. No, never surrender. No, dude, come on. That's fucking bullshit. He's right. He's right. That's not valid. If there's something defense are gonna cook you on that, who cares? I don't give a shit. Guys. I'm always, listen, I'm a stubborn piece of shit. I'm very fucking proud. But honestly, if I fuck up, I will always admit it. You guys are being so fucking dumb. You should always acknowledge if you are in the wrong in a situation. Even if Piers was definitely even if Piers was definitely fucking agitating, okay, even if Piers was definitely agitating in that entire interview, he's right. I don't have any fucking right to criticize him on that front. It's true. Bro said D fans. I mean, yeah, Destiny's fans will be fucking trying to grab onto anything and everything they can. I don't think you should ever be ashamed of being principled. It's a good thing. Accepting where you were wrong is a sign of your humility of faith. Yeah, I'm not in it to fucking it's not about being wrong, though. You can say you were too hard on the twink, but you were also self-hating on the anger and passion. Okay, dude, you got to stop glazing me up. I get it, dude. Okay, I get it. Yes, I did a good job. I know. I recognize it now. Stop telling me I'm being too fucking hard on myself. Jesus Christ. Anyway. Let's take a look at what the fuck this freak had to say at Columbia, by the way.
Denied the horrific facts of September 11, 2001, the attacks on the United States that happened right here in New York City. And they've attempted to excuse or to ignore the barbaric attack of Hamas in Israel on October 7th, 2023, where Israeli women and children were savagely raped and murdered, and infants were cooked in ovens.
I'm a huge fan, but you suck. Okay. Do you think that the change in attitude in Israel also is why more people are coming back to the stream? It's part of it, probably.
Crowds of radical activists have chanted death to America and on our own streets in this country, and sub-public officials have refused to condemn them. Others denied the horrific facts of September 11, 2001, the attacks on the United States that happened right here in New York City, and they've attempted to excuse or
Oven Babies is back on the map. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy that you just like say whatever the fuck you want. If you're saying it in defense of Israel, you can say pretty much whatever. You could be like, yeah, did you regret breaking down in live? What do you mean breaking down? Are the Divorcelli fans amongst us now? Coming in now to be like, yeah, man, you really broke down live. Is that what's going on? Is that the meta? Yeah, I am angry. And I couldn't hold that back. But I do think that personally, it didn't come across as bad as I thought it did. I was definitely more mad. I said earlier, D-writers don't wait for the reality to form their opinions. They just say whatever they're feeling. No, that's not true. They say whatever their daddy is saying. Divorcellini fanboys in the chat. All right. Anti-Semitism on college campuses.
Happening on America's college campuses is horrific. Anti-Semitic mobs have taken over leading universities. They call for the annihilation of Israel. They attack Jewish students. They attack Jewish faculty. This is reminiscent of what happened in German universities in the 1930s. It's unconscionable. It has to be stopped. It has to be condemned, and condemned unequivocally. But that's not what happened. The response of several university presidents was shameful. Now, fortunately, state, local, federal officials, many of them have responded differently, but there has to be more. More has to be done. It has to be done not only because they attack Israel, that's bad enough. Not only because they want to kill Jews wherever they are, that's bad enough. It's also, when you listen to them, it's also because they say not only death to Israel, death to the Jews, but death to America. And this tells us that there's an
Why? Why is this like even remotely appropriate? Like, who the fuck are you, bro? He said apology accepted. See, and I deleted the tweet. The only way this is reminiscent of 1930s universities is anti-fascists getting arrested. Yeah. I know all the Israelis are just Polish is anti-Semitic, but I swear to God, this guy's just an American. Oh, dude, yes. Not just any kind of American, a fucking Philadelphian. Okay? You need to understand something. There is no greater L for the Israeli apartheid than letting a dude from Philly man the ship for this many years. Okay? But it's crazy. It's like, first of all, a couple questions. why is the leader of the Israeli state, why does he have a Philly accent? A question that's on my mind. Perhaps for those of you who do not know, maybe you have the same question as well. Another question, why is he speaking in English from his own personal official account about American campus drama? Does this not strike anybody as odd at any given moment? It's like, bro, you're doing an ethnic cleansing campaign. Your hands are busy. Your hands are tied. Worry about your own life. No. Because any and every valid protest against Israel in the West fucking terrifies the Israeli state. He was born in Tel Aviv. Doesn't that make the American argument invalid? Bro, Benjamin Netanyahu is spiritually an American. Okay? I'm sorry. If you don't recognize that, I don't know what to tell you. He 100% is American spiritually, mentally. He is an American. Grew up in Philadelphia, went to MIT. That boy is American. I know you're talking about being honest and everything, but please, PA can't take this L right now. Please, please, please. Mr. Manchin is talking shit about Philly, but is from Jersey. I see I've upset. I've offended the sensibilities of many Philadelphians today. Okay? I apologize, but if you keep at it, I will play the fucking tape. I will play the footage. We will sit here and watch the least crusty Eagles fan eat horse manure. Okay? The Philly slander stays on all night. Don't even get me fucking started. Oh no, they're saying Sixers 0-2 in the chat. Oh no, they're saying it. Don't say it. Don't do it to them. Pittsburgh, on the other hand, is on top. That's right. Re-elected Summer Lee, the most pro-Palestinian rep. Make sure the Philly slander doesn't hit the rest of the state. This is true. Shouts out to the pit. Okay, respect. Summer Lee actually showed a massive W out there. And there was definitely a couple different reasons for that victory. I was going to get to that in a little bit. Actually, you know what? We'll get to that in a second after this is done.
Surge here that has terrible consequences.
He's like, he loves it too. He's like, I wish they were actually anti-Semitic and like way more aggressively anti-Semitic. So I could just be like, yeah, all the Jews have to come here now. Sorry, Jews in America. You are not safe there. Please come to Israel. Please. Please, 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 please. It's so sick. I promise I'll keep you safe, with the exception of October 7 and also subsequently the entire economy collapsing because we are held together by ticker tape and also American money. But please come here. I swear it's so sick. Yeah, I saw the Israelis attack Ben Gvir, which is sick. I mean, hey, listen, see? Israel contains multitudes. He's the one guy in Israel politics who speaks English without a horrible accent. This is why we elect him, dude. He's an asset. Okay, I believe it.
Psychiatrist on last night and we had a psychiatrist on last night to explain why most of the people are female that are leading this protest. And she said because females, and I think I can speak for the women at the table,
you cannot,
are generally nurturing people. And when their professors are giving them better grades for their social activism, they're trying to appeal to their teachers, and they've been told they're oppressed as women. And they identify with the Palestinians, and they're trying to hug them and nurture them.
Okay.
This is not what I said, Judge. This is what my guest said, who's a clinical psychologist.
Thanks for repeating it.
Okay. And she also said...
It's so funny when you remember you're a woman at Fox News. Of course, only coming to that recognition when Jesse Waters is being like an unhinged misogynist.
Because they're single, they're not nurturing their boyfriends. Their boyfriends have been described as toxic. So they're trying to nurture other people. And I saw this happen in 2020. Remember when there were these Black Lives Matter riots?
Vaguely.
And what everybody did was let them fester. And so they've seen what they can get away with. And now you see it spreading to the West Coast, see it spreading to Texas. And they're going to do this because they know they're not going to be held accountable.
Okay.
And now I know there's been a lot of talk about me being awarded an honorary doctorate by Columbia. because I'm such a man of letters. And I just want to say preemptively, I will not accept this.
God, he sucks so bad. Yeah, he let the air out of his current wife's tires before they started dating to have her trapped. To be fair, you'd really only know you're a woman working at Fox News if Jesse lets the air out of your tires. Listen, guys, Jesse's only do that like a mating call, okay? That's just what it is, pure primal instinct. Jesse's only do that when they want to fuck, okay? When they've declared you as their potential partner. That's what they do. That's his move. I agree with most of your takes, but this one is bad. Yeah. Why you got to do that to us? No, not all Jesse's. I meant Jesse Waters's. Okay. God dang, son. God dang. Hamas spiker literally praised the 9/11 terrorists before now and lies and says it doesn't justify innocent civilians getting killed, lol. I can smell this dude writing this. I assume a lot of the Hassan Piker is pathetic. He doesn't need a Xanax. A lot of those are D-writers coming in late to the game to be like, he sucks. He sucks. I don't know who you are. Okay. UT campus right now. I'm done looking at fucking random comments, dude. I'm not gonna be desperately looking for gray names. I'm stopping myself. Okay. This is the headline. Now watch the video. Yeah, it was awesome. Jewish Yale student journalist stabbed in the eye with a Palestinian flag during protests. We saw. I have been sniping the weird ones today. I'm done. I'm done sniping the weird ones. Okay. AOC torched by Professor Bard from Columbia, agent of chaos. Dude, Shai David sucks so bad. It is unironically awesome that they keep putting the fucking camera on him. Okay? Straight up. The fact that Shai David is out here fucking doing the most while being the most annoying asshole on planet Earth is so great. Every single time, one of these dudes who's like an ultra Zionist, who is like, oh, I'm going to make a media career out of being like fucking super annoying. Every single one of these dudes, when they get the spotlight on them extensively, they end up showing their asses. Wow, so he's annoying just because he's Jewish, huh? Yeah, that's what I meant. Embarrassed David should be embarrassed. He should be shy. I wish he was. He's unanimously become the face of pro-Zionist protesters. Yeah. Remember when Shai David posted the fucking video of people on campus basically peacefully praying and was like, look at them. Look at them. Does anyone have that clip? Because it was so awesome. Especially because it was so unhinged and so Israel coded that he thought that that level of Islamophobia would be acceptable in America as well. And Americans are Islamophobic as shit. 9/11 was a fun inside job. No, shut up. No, you shut up. First time chatter. About to get hit with a fucking first time ad break at the top of the hour because he's not subscribed. No, you. Fucking got you. Shai David, the business class, teaching you that at the top of the hour, there is a 3-minute ad break. And if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. Oh, here it is. This is awesome. It's so funny. It's just a video of people praying, dude. You should probably pray to get a gifted sub at the top of the hour, and only then, if your prayers are answered, you'll be able to avoid said top of the hour. Ad break, by the way. Boom. Roasted. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. Blammo. This is Columbia University right now. Please share to let the world know. Share to let the world know. Imagine if a Muslim student went and filmed a student celebrating Passover right now with a similar caption. Yeah, that person would be deeply anti-Semitic. Okay? That person would be deeply anti-Semitic for doing that. And of course, they would get fucking round-the-clock media coverage in a negative way, which they deserve, right? For doing such unhinged anti-Semitic bullshit. However, Islamophobia, on the other hand, doesn't work that way. That is precisely why Shai David is getting coverage right now, round-the-clock coverage, as a matter of fact. And it's positive. It's all positive. Weren't the anti-Zionist Jewish people also praying in Colombia like 2 days ago? Yes. In any case, anyone had any doubt that it was pure projection when Zionists say all Palestinians want them dead? Yeah, 100%. He also fucking called Motaz Hamas. President Minouche Shafik of Colombia, an Egyptian, by the way, which isn't that wonderful? It's great. It's great to see. It's great to see Egyptians doing what Egypt is also doing, which is being a relentless dick rider of the American state. It's great. Wonderful stuff from Minouche Shafik of Colombia. Can you imagine what he would say if he saw the chill-ass cats praying with the Muslims? He would lose his mind. Okay. President Minouche Shafik of Colombia, who has said in recently revealed post-9/11 interview that terrorism can be seen as a form of legitimate protest, is not allowing me nor the NYPD News on campus. Who is she allowing on campus? Who she is allowing on campus? This Hamas journalist. Let me get this straight. The gates are locked for Jews in the NYPD, but wide open for Hamas and the Islamic Jihad. She should be tried for this. 6,000 likes. 6,000 likes, bro. I mean, what else can I say about this? What the fuck else can I say? Obviously, we covered the internal drama amongst Palestinians, both Palestinians of the West and also Palestinians across the board, about Motaz's perspective on Hamas in general. He was seen as too critical. Motaz, however, regardless of his own framework, doesn't really matter, is literally a fucking award-winning journalist whose co-workers were assassinated by the Israeli state. The fact that you look at a dude like this and go, that's Hamas, and the fact that you look at people just peacefully praying on campus grounds and say, look what's going on, it's so scary. I mean, you've revealed what the fuck is happening here. I'm confused. What is the world supposed to know from this? Dude, he was so unhinged. He had Jesse Singal being like, whatever you think about the broader protests and arrests, aren't these folks just praying? Like, he brought the entire Western world political intelligentsia, in air quotes, he brought them all to his replies. He had Mike Cernovich going, what the fuck are you talking about? What am I supposed to be seeing here? Here's what he looked like just standing in the bush. Freak. Look how unsafe Shai David feels taking creeper shots of his students. This would change his life. Yeah, we should show Shai David this. It's real. It's real. All cats are spiritually Muslim. That's why you'll never see a cat step on the Quran. Okay? You'll never see one. Oh, here's Gregory About talking about arrests being made right now will continue until the crowd disperses. These protesters belong in jail. Anti-Semitism will not be tolerated in Texas, period. Students joining in hate-filled anti-Semitic protests at any public college or university in Texas should be expelled. This you?
Some colleges are banning free speech on college campuses. Well, no more, because I'm about to sign a law that protects free speech on college campuses in Texas.
It's so funny. This is another like incredibly sad moment of vindication. But for years and years, I have had to duke it out with all of these dumb fucks, from Charlie Kirk to Ann Coulter to many right-wing instigators, Ben Shapiro's of the world. Okay. Every single time free speech on college campuses was brought up, I would always ask, well, if there's free speech on college campuses, why is there no free speech for those who are pro-Palestine? Why? And they never had an answer for it. They would just move on and be like, they're terrorists, blah, 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 blah. And now there is actually a growing momentum amongst college campuses about this very same instance where they've all showed their fucking asses. There is no such thing as free speech absolutism. It's just, it goes in one direction and one direction only. Okay? That's it. Law, this should backfire on them. No, dude. Americans are like, there are so many right-wing Americans who are just genuinely jealous that Israel gets to do unshackled fascism. They look at what Israel is doing and they're like, fuck, why not us? We want to do this shit too. Law enforcement arrested a Fox affiliate cameraman in Austin. Listen, to be fair, officer, look at him. He's looking like his name is Mahmoud or something. My man looks like a young Mahmoud Abbas. What am I supposed to do? He's looking the wrong kind of white.
Arresting the press! They are arresting the press. No free speech! I'm with Fox 7. Yeah, what's your name? Carlos. Carlos, what do you think of us?
That's right. He's Mexican, which is like one step removed from Arab. So we locked him up.
I think it's, they were pushing me, and they say that I hit an officer. I didn't hit an officer. They were pushing. You know what I mean? They were pushing me. Arresting the press!
I'm a USC student. I gotta say, these protesters are kittens and puppies playing levels of peaceful. So to see arrests being made is such a classic display of jackbooted thuggery by the LAPD. Oh yeah, that's right, baby. Everybody knows Mexicans are Turks, and Turks are Arab. One step removed. They're cousins.
We'll never be divided. The people united. We'll never be divided. The people.
Cinemarxism, our anarchist in the chat, who was there at USC, by the way. This isn't USC. This is University of Texas, Austin. Says, I've been going to protests regularly for over a decade. By the way, Cinemarxism doesn't just go to the protests to shoot the protests, but he also goes to the protests specifically because he's a protest enjoyer, because, like I said, he is an anarchist. Okay? And he says, I've never seen such unhinged, unnecessary, ineffective police escalation of violence as I did today at USC. From 7 a.m., police were being aggressive and escalating shit with us. Being scared of computer science majors is crazy. I love how the excuse for anti-Semitic movements now is that, oh, they're just students, they can't hurt you. Well, all Jewish Israeli people in their cohort end up exiled with no friends as they face the most hate they've probably seen in their lives. You are disgusting. That's so funny because she tried to say it's violent for students to be like, ew, you're defending Israel? That's gross. That's such a funny fucking take. She didn't have the decency and the wherewithal to just say, like, to lie and just say they're beating on Jewish students or something. She literally said, I have no friends because of my relentless, unconditional allegiance to the genocidal apartheid state of Israel. And that's really fucked up. It's pure conservative thinking. That's the best best demonstration of how conservatives universally are perpetually trying to seek out victimhood. You treating the panelists like gray names on Piers Morgan was amazing. Had to keep the Glaze train going. I wasn't going to do that. I did not want to do that originally. Okay? I did not. And if you watch the whole interview, you'll see, like, at first I'm cordial. At first I'm letting my interlocutors speak. And then, obviously, you know, and then what happened. And I was getting fucking triple teamed for a little bit. And I had to just, like, at least take out as many of the people from the conversation as best as I could. The Proud Boy founder is on Columbia campus right now. I'm a student photojournalist here, and Shai's ass harassed us. The crazy thing about all this is that I'm a Jewish student, and the only harassment I've ever experienced from Zionist students who called me a terrorist. Oh, yeah. I'm also a USC student. The current reports on unnecessary force are horrific. All escalations have been at the hands of the DPS. I'm so disappointed in my school, but can't say I'm surprised by this response given USC's track record recently. Yes. Isn't arresting protesting students always a bad look? I don't get why people support it now when everyone in the media used to take turns dunking on China for this, because it's good when we do it, chatter. What the fuck do you mean? It's called hypocrisy. Okay? Yes, because we're hypocritical. Also, we never gave a shit about China arresting students at all either. We don't have an issue with arresting students, as you can see right here. We do it regularly. The problem is when our foreign adversary does it, then it's a problem. No, it's called Islamophobia. It's not just that. You cannot, in the United States of America, say things that are against the U.S. State Department's interests. Israel has to be able to be as violent as it wants to, without any fucking repercussions, without any kind of pushback whatsoever. So whenever, what is this? Middle East Monitor? Just stop. I think it's great that violence is happening to American youth at the behest of another country. Fuck are we doing? Yeah, it looks so strong on the international stage. Yeah. 15 Jewish students at Columbia University have launched a formal complaint after self-described Zionist professor Shai David called them Judenrat Kapost for their human rights activism. Davide's family is involved in weapons manufacturing. Dude, this confidence will cook them. Okay? This confidence, this sheer display of arrogance will absolutely backfire. Okay? It's just like, you can't be so fucking annoying all the goddamn time, nonstop, for as long as you wish to be, without people basically turning around and being like, no, fuck you, dude. Shut up. Enough is enough. I think they're both as bad as each other. If Hamas had the firepower of Israel, would they try not to eradicate them? If Hamas had the firepower of Israel, then there would be no Hamas. Because if Hamas had the firepower of Israel, that means that Palestinians would have a state. And if the Palestinians had a state, there would be no need for Hamas. There would be no reason for Hamas to exist. That's the difference. That's the point. Also, unban me. I mean, you're still chirping in here with some dumb shit. You're not making a very convincing argument as to why I should unban your other account. God knows what you said on the, this is what you're saying on the sock account. God knows the fuck you said on the other one that got you banned. Holy shit. Just an opposing argument. My man's like, listen, I know that Palestinians are being slaughtered ruthlessly by a nuclear genocidal apartheid state. But what if in this hypothetical that wasn't happening? And also the Palestinians had all the weapons and shit. Okay, just an opposing argument. Don't agree with it. But like, yeah, bro, get a better opposing argument. Your opposing argument is idiotic. On Sunday at American University, a student government I'm part of passed the BDS resolution. Our president, Sylvia Burwell, took 45 minutes to send a pre-prepared response. When there have been hate crimes against Islamic students and faculty takes her over 72 hours to respond, she is complicit in the genocide of Palestinians. Yeah. Most people in positions of power in the United States of America are complicit in this. 1.4. Sağ ol. Hayır, o ekmeklerden yapma ve lahmacun yapma. Lütfen. If house cats were as big as dogs, would they kill us? Just asking hypothetical. Stop. You're going to get me to fucking chirp up about house cats. And if they were as big as dogs, they would definitely kill their owners like all the time. Lahmacun yakma lütfen. Read my prior. No, I said don't make me lahmacun. He always wants to make me more food than I want. And I'm trying to tell him to not do that, but he's not going to listen, and he's going to do it anyway and test my boundaries. Hey, Hassan, my sister's a founder within our lifetime, and she's been interviewed by Piers Morgan twice. She was also voted anti-Semite of the year. I'm being so dead ass. I've been watching you since 2020. And you, alongside my sister, radicalized me. She was arrested and had her hijab ripped off in the process of being arrested, and the commissioner of the NYPD blamed her. That's unfortunate, but also the least shocking thing I've ever heard about the NYPD's regular activities. A truly deranged opinion piece about Gaza protests out of the New York Times that casts a father-daughter bonding moment as sinister and not peaceful. From the other night, I watched a dad coming from the protest with his little girl, giving a good hard few final snaps of the drum she was carrying, nodding at her in crisp salute, percussing his perspective into her little mind. This is not peaceful. It's not that they wouldn't exist, but as recently as like, no. Hamas, when I say Hamas wouldn't exist, what I'm actually mentioning is Hamas in the way that we understand it in the Western world wouldn't exist as a violent resistance group against the apartheid state of Israel. I don't mean that it wouldn't exist as like a political entity or some shit. It probably would, especially because like 75 years is the reason. Ulan neden Birinci Dünya Savaşı'nda Osmanlı'yı sırtından vuranı savunuyorsun çocuk? Boş yapma kanka, Filistinler bize ihanet etti. That's so funny. Turks coming in here to chirp at me for defending Palestinians is such a funny fucking take. This guy is mad about World War I still. He's like, the Palestinians actually fucked us over and they stabbed us in the back. Why the fuck are you defending them in World War I? Yeah, dude, I'm butthurt. I'm not butthurt over World War I. You want to know why? Because I live in 2024 where like 15,000 children have been ruthlessly slaughtered with the tax dollars that I pay to the American government that go directly to funding Israel's apartheid, that go directly funding Israel's ethnic cleansing campaign. That's the reason why I'm not holding this fucking weird grudge that you're holding on to. Ridiculous. Ridiculous to just still fucking be this mad, this butthurt.
Become a terrorist. And those students, by pushing the ideology, are becoming terrorists.
Our next guest is a Jewish professor at Columbia Business School. He's been barred from campus after leading a pro-Jewish counter-demonstration. He joins us now. Shai David, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, pro-Jewish counter-demonstration against the Jews that are demonstrating down the fucking street, who he has called apparently Jewish rat capos. So, super sick. I love that he just also always looks like shit. God, dude, the IDF is not sending their fucking best, bro. I swear to God. He just looks like shit all the fucking time. It's awesome. It's just like a constant state of like hysterics, constant state of fucking panic all the goddamn time. Literally fucking fighting with shadows. Ay. Almost as bad as Piers trying to say that the American Revolution wasn't good. Oh yeah, that was pretty funny.
Columbia president said this, that I want to be clear that we will not tolerate intimidating, harassing, or discriminatory behavior. We are working to identify protesters who violate...
Judenrat is not a Jewish rat, it means Jewish council, aka the Jews who helped the Nazis. Yeah, I got that part from the capo bit.
...our policies against discrimination and harassment, and they will be put through appropriate disciplinary processes.
He's a Brit. You were appealing to the wrong audience. Bro, are you kidding me? Anyone who's fucking pro-Palestinian, and even some who are fucking pro-Israel, are going to be anti-England anyway. I wasn't trying to appeal to Piers Morgan when I talked about the American Revolution being good. I was trying to appeal to those who are watching. Everybody hates England. Man, half the British population hates England. The fuck are we talking about? England has much to hate. Okay? Have you been to England? Shit is ass, bro. Have you seen the weather?
Does she understand the gravity of what's happening there, like how serious it is? And she also said in CB's report saying that there could...
It's the same exact fucking smoke that I have for America, okay? British people hate England. A lot of smart Brits hate England in the same exact ways that I fucking criticize America. I hate America. You know what I mean?
Continuing to negotiate with these protesters. Now, you teach negotiation. Who's winning in this negotiation at this point?
I'll tell you who's losing. So first of all, thank you for bringing me in.
You motherfucker, hopefully losing your job, bitch.
There's only one people that are losing, and it's the Jewish people. The Jewish students. I spent last night speaking with Jewish students. They are scared. They are fleeing campus. They're not leaving campus. They're fleeing campus. I have been speaking about this support for Hamas for 6 months. The president has never replied to my email. The trustees have never reached...
Yeah, because you're fucking insane, dude. The president is literally a Zionist. And you're still fucking chirping at her for not being sufficiently ultra-nationalist. Okay? And you're annoying. I wouldn't respond to you either. Even if you were on my side, I'd be like, oh, dude, not this fucking freak again.
...out. It's... The University of Columbia has 2 presidents right now, and it's Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar, because this is not about Israel. This is about America. And the university just decided that they don't care about Jewish safety. They don't care about the Jewish students. They are negotiating with suspended organizations that they want to burn everything down. And I'm despondent this morning.
Yeah, dude, totally. Yeah. Yeah, Jewish safety can only be achieved if, like, all of the people who, you know, may or may not be Jewish themselves that are fucking criticizing Israel are killed by the by the National Guard, hopefully. That's the only way we can achieve Jewish safety on campus. Sorry, we just got to fucking... I heard there's a Hamas tunnel under Columbia University. It must be done. Great stuff, man. Thank you.
Shai, your badge to access the school was shut off. You were not able to access the main campus. And, you know, these Jewish students have been told they might be safer taking virtual classes. I believe it was Congressman Moskowitz who said that, you know, we've seen this before, Jews being told that they shouldn't come here because we can't keep them safe.
That's not what happened at all. And that's not what's going on. They went virtual because police presence is murking the fucking students. I love that you said Jew students, by the way. Once again, just like a wild way to both reframe the conversation, but also simultaneously, you know, showcase your other hangups while you are trying to defend supposedly Jewish students.
What's playing out, you know, echoing Nazi Germany for you? Do you agree with his statement?
Yeah, I've been saying this for 6 months, and everything is on my social media. I've documented every incident of hate. I've documented every time they've called.
Yeah, dude, thank God he's out there documenting the incidents of hate, like when he saw people protesting while being Muslim, or that other time. It's just like we've seen your instances of anti-Semitism when you fucking when you said that Motaz being on campus, an award-winning photojournalist who happens to be Palestinian being on campus is because is actually just a defense of Hamas. Ridiculous shit, dude. All of this resentment just stems from one place.
For killing of the Jews. I've called, you know, when they shout against America, when they burn down American flags, this is not protest against Israel. This is protest against America. They are cheering on Hamas and Islamic Jihad, who are right now holding 3 U.S. citizens hostage in Gaza. They are denying them their inalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And those that are denying them are not just Hamas, but the students and the faculty that are cheering on Hamas. Look, I've never been on Fox News. We don't share a lot of our politics, but I think we do share one thing, that, you know, we share the belief in life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Oh, yeah, he's a shit lib. I forgot. No, he is. He is. You guys don't understand. Dude, let me tell you something. So many fucking shit libs who were liberal Zionists demonstrated that, like, Zionism is fascism and a higher power here. Like, it has a higher order of operations here. And it's the same as saying, like, liberal fascist. This person is a liberal fascist. You know, gay fascism. That's it. That's what it is. You can't fucking be like a quote unquote liberal and a fascist at the same time. That's why many liberals very openly demonstrate, when push comes to shove, how fucking fascist aligned they are.
President Shafik does not, because if she did, she would not be negotiating with those that are supporting.
Gotta triage your abhorrent views when you hop on Fox News? No. You mean, no. The views that he has to triage here are the views that Fox News audience would not actually like, because they are surprisingly not abhorrent.
Hamas and Islamic Jihad. She will be talking with the Jewish students. You know who the only people not on the negotiation table? The Jews. She's negotiating with Hamas supporters, with Islamic Jihad supporters. She's not even taking the moment of her day to speak with the Jewish students and their concerns. She never even reached out to me. Wow. I am barred from there. The reason I couldn't go on campus is because they said they cannot guarantee my safety in that illegal encampment. Do you think they can guarantee it now? I don't think so.
Shai, apparently right now they're chanting "Genocide Joe has got to go." I think you can hear that. So they're bringing in, obviously, U.S. politics as well. On campus, when did it take a turn, and why do you think it took a turn from protesters calling for a ceasefire to now telling Jews to go back to Poland, to threatening their safety, and to being actually pro-Hamas rather than just calling for a ceasefire? Was there a turning point that you...
It's actually insane that a professor of a liberal college is talking with fucking Fox News. I often find that Zionism often leads people to abandon their ideals so fast, it's actually scary. He's also not the only Zionist I know who does it. No, you're absolutely correct. And there was an article in the New York Times, as a matter of fact, a couple months prior, talking about how a lot of Jews have started watching Fox News. Like, that was their article. They were saying that, like, due to a lot of people post October 7 feeling like mainstream media wasn't sufficiently pro-Israel, that they were moving in droves to watch Fox News. Straight up. And it's because Fox News is giving unrestricted, unfettered, unshackled, super hardcore Islamophobia. That's it. And a lot of people who are Zionists want that, because that's a big part of the leading motivation for having such unhinged opinions about Palestinians to begin with. Hold on.
You saw on campus?
There was no turning point. I'm sorry, but none of you in the media were listening. On October 9th, they posted a letter that said that the massacre of October 7th was a historic day, and this is what resistance means. From the very first moment, before Israel even started the war, responded to Hamas's actions, when they were still fighting terrorists on the ground in Israel, trying to prevent more massacres, the students at Columbia started cheering on Hamas, celebrating Hamas. They showed up with signs saying resistance by any means necessary on October 12th. University knows about this. By calling these pro-Palestinians, this is doing a disservice to Palestinians.
But Shai, I'm sorry to interrupt you, because I want to ask you,
Hamas.
I just want to ask, because just to help us all understand, we're paying attention, we care about this issue very much. What is different now than maybe even 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, that now you have a situation where it's like the new Occupy Wall Street right there on your campus?
No, it's not, because this is motivated by hate. It's not the Occupy Wall Street. This is motivated by hate, not by ideology. And it's just been building up. This is how terrorism works. And it works on Columbia's campus the same way that it works in Kabul and in Mosul and in Rafah. You start off slow, and you see that you don't have to face any consequences. So you amp up the heat more and more and more, and you amp up the heat until the other side gets to a breaking point and starts negotiating with you. This is how terrorism works. It works everywhere around the world by scaring you into doing what they want, to capitulating into their demands. They started by supporting Hamas, and they're openly supporting Hamas now. Nothing has changed other than the heat.
All right.
I want to read you a tweet, Shai, from Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She says calling in police enforcement of nonviolent demonstrations of young students on campus is an escalatory, reckless, and dangerous act. It represents a heinous failure of leadership that puts people's lives at risk. I condemn it in the strongest possible terms. You know, dealing with this issue has been vexing for Democratic lawmakers. Are the lines becoming blurred here between, you know, what is supporting Palestinians and what is echoing terrorist rhetoric? How important is it for Democrats to really be pretty clear in what it is they're standing up for?
Look, this is not about Democrats or Republicans. This is about moderates versus extremes. You got extremists on the left and extremists on the right, but moderate Republicans and moderate Democrats, they all understand the same thing. They all understand that this is about America. And AOC, she's an agent of chaos. That's the name. AOC is Agent of Chaos. And I'm just looking forward to my kids and grandkids reading about this chapter in history and the list of all the rabid anti-Semites and to see her name there. This is not peaceful protest, and she's lying to the people. She is lying to the people, just like Rashida Tlaib, just like Cynthia Nixon from Sex and the City, just like the New York Times. They are lying to the people. Look at the videos. Look at the videos. Look at the sign, the student protesters holding signs saying, Al-Qassam brigades, meaning the Hamas military wing, these are your next target, pointing at Jewish students, American Jewish students.
Yeah.
And if you tell me that that is peaceful, you know, Mayor Eric Adams knows this, that if this was about the KKK, if this was targeting a race, if this was targeting a sexual orientation, a sexual identity, the NYPD would have found something to do. Because this is targeting the Jews, Mayor Eric Adams speaks very highly about how much he cares and does nothing.
Shai David, thank you so much. Please stay in touch, and I hope that you can either get back on campus and certainly remain safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Shai.
I just care about the Jewish students' safety.
So do we. Thank you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.
We're going to begin, though, with the tensions across this country over Israel's war in Gaza that stemmed from that October 7th Hamas attack. We continue to see the demonstrations in multiple cities now, including here at Columbia University in New York City, where the school says students have 48 hours to remove an encampment. In Brooklyn, hundreds of Jewish people were arrested near the home of Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer after holding a Passover Seder, which doubled as a call for a ceasefire. Nancy Chen is at Columbia for us this morning to bring us the latest. Nancy, good morning to you.
Gail, good morning to you. There are protests overnight here on campus, but it is overall calm right now as...
Sorry, she doesn't like being groomed, so I have to take her to the mobile groomer. Like myself. Go back. You have to go back. You missed the best part. I bet I didn't. Oh, you missed it. He named the New York Times the anti-Semite of the day. Fuck yeah. That's extremely my shit. I love when fucking ultra-Zionist psychos just show their fucking asses, dude. And AOC is the agent of chaos.
Conversations with students continue. A representative from Columbia University tells CBS News there has been some progress made with pro-Palestinian demonstrators, but tensions remain high.
Outside of Columbia University's campus, demonstrators continue to rally. After the school's administration warned students on campus to dismantle their camps or face consequences, some are seen breaking them down, while others remain defiant. From coast to coast, California to Massachusetts, demonstrations expressing anger over Israel's bombardment of Gaza. At NYU, plywood barricades were erected yesterday around a campus plaza. After unruly demonstrations Monday night, 120 people were arrested. New York City Mayor Eric Adams blamed the unrest on outside agitators.
People who peacefully protest for an issue, they're not throwing bottles and chairs.
Earlier in the day at Columbia, protesters reiterated their demands, including an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. And one of the most crucial components, cutting off any financial interests connected to Israel.
Our first demand is complete divestment from anything related to Israeli settler colonialism, apartheid, and genocide.
Let's go. Dude, it's so funny. No matter how much, for the record, no matter how much dumb fucks online chirp about how I'm like interviewing terrorists or whatever, or interviewing whoever the fuck, let me tell you something, okay? After I conduct interviews like the one I did with the CUAD students, or even Timothy Charlemagne, okay? Every single fucking mainstream news outlet hits up my management, okay? Hits up my management to be like, can we please get your contact so that we can also have the people that you're fucking interviewing. Every single time. New York Times, MSNBC, and obviously with the Timothy Charlemagne, I did not help out mainstream media. But with this one, I know that the student protesters want mainstream representation and want mainstream media to have them on. So I sent the students the information from the MSNBC producer. So just remember that. Just fucking remember that. So while dumb fucks online who get all of their information from a dude who dropped out of fucking music school and only cares about like somewhat relevant. Ama baba yapma. Yok gerek yok. Peki. Okay, peki teşekkür ederim. As I was saying, while so many dumb fucks online get their talking points directly from a dumb fuck who only cares about like Wikipedia pages that he can browse through to get like some quick, quippy one-liners, and because they don't understand like the journalistic value that it represents to be able to fucking interview people that are otherwise inaccessible, okay? The reality is the mainstream is watching and does think that there is value to these kinds of interviews. Okay? Just something to remember. Owen Jones, for those who keep asking, this is definitely not me. It's very much some other gay blonde dude.
The words apartheid and genocide are loaded, but the idea of divestment is a refrain.
Is it ultra cope to think this might trickle into Israel? U.S. is global culture leader and the liberation movement is winning the culture war, so who knows? No, I don't think so. I think Israeli societal attitudes is so fucking slanted on the right overall that like I don't know if this will actually invoke a similar response. However, the reason why these protests are very important is because it gives people the moral permission. It shows people that you can demonstrate courageous acts. So maybe you'll see more of a like Messervot style movements occurring in Israel as well. I don't think it's super likely, to be honest. I do think that there is like a very, very bad culture. I don't know. I feel like the collective psyche is like kind of fucked up from years and years of fascist propaganda. No, it's not Mossad or anything. Because, no, I don't think it's like Mossad wouldn't let that happen or anything like that. I think if anything, if there was any kind of state action towards young Israeli Jews, especially protesting against their government, then the protests would grow. But I don't think it'll happen. I hope it will. That would be sick. But I don't know if it'll happen. Dude, they're doing that against the Orthodox Jews? No, that's different, bro. That's why I said Israeli Jews but specifically, I'm talking about like Israeli youth. And for the record, yeah, I don't think the Israeli youth is like leftist by any means. I think they probably look to the likes of Ofer Kasif and Mezarvot like they're, you know, outliers and weird. I'm sure the Israeli Jews in the chat can attest to that, as they have talked about it before. I feel like, yeah, bro, the teenager that we talked to, the Israeli teenager that we talked to, literally used communist as a slur. Like he straight up substituted that as like a pejorative. Like they're it's so funny to think about the inception of the Israeli state and like labor Zionists and shit early on. And to see how far they've strayed away from that, even though there are still a lot of like socialist adjacent principles that are only being deployed in the direction of like further harming Palestinian citizens of Israel, obviously, like land ownership in Israel. It's pretty wild. It was pretty wild to see in person the resentment that like a 16-year-old Israeli teenager would have towards communism and socialism. Anyway.
Echoed over and over by protesters we spoke to on campus.
Financial divestment, financial transparency.
Is financial divestment from any companies that profit off of Israeli apartheid.
According to Kenneth Stern, who has studied pro-Palestinian campus protests for decades, calls for divestment in Israel have gone nowhere on campuses for more than 20 years because the issues in Israel are not politically simple.
No campus has decided to divest from investments in Israel or companies that do business with Israel.
Yeah. Because of the political complexity of Israel. That's why. Well, it's not looking too complex nowadays, is it? It doesn't seem to me like it's looking pretty complex.
And part of the reason is that unlike some things that have gotten them to divest, whether it's tobacco stocks or things related to climate, this is a political debate where people have strongly divergent views.
And on top of that, divestment isn't practical.
It would be very difficult because there's so many companies that deal with Israel. There's so many mutual funds and other things. It would be very difficult to segregate them.
But the practicality may not be the point. The point may just be the protest.
And Speaker of the House Mike Johnson is expected to visit Columbia's campus later today to meet with Jewish students.
Wait, I'm confused. Why wasn't it complicated for tobacco then? Huh.
As we now enter day 8 of protests here. Gail.
It's a very dicey situation. Thank you very much, Nancy.
Think about this. Let's bring in Lawrence from Brookfield, Wisconsin. Lawrence, Chuck Schumer holed up in his apartment.
Chat, I heard you. I heard Owen Jones wants to come on stream. You don't have to keep repeating it in the chat. Okay? I got it.
Instead of down in Columbia trying to negotiate or sticking up for those Jewish students. As the highest ranking Jewish political figure in American history, he's a no-show.
I'm hoping Chuck Schumer learned something from that moment. After all his criticism of Netanyahu.
How hard was it when they divested from Russia? Because it seems like they were able to.
After all this extending an olive branch of the pro-Palestinian movement, they still protest in front of it. There's nothing that you can do as a measure of compromise for these people. They want to get rid of you, period. There's no negotiating that.
Yeah, what is it? You know, when you look at all these crowds, aren't you blown away? Aren't you all shocked? I mean, Charlie, how do you feel about this? Because
Black Americans that are black conservatives, especially, that defend Israel is just like, what are you doing, bro? Like, Israel literally had a policy of fucking doing eugenics to Ethiopian Jews. And like, it's so crazy.
what does this mean for the election? There are a lot of people that seem to be supporting these protests.
Yeah, well, you know, in terms of Colombia, it's an important reminder. Don't ever say maybe if you mean no. And the idea that they're still negotiating is insane. But, you know, to me, the most shocking part of all of it is that, of course, you know, you have Chuck Schumer, you have Joe Biden.
They still want these people's votes. They still are looking at them.
It's all they care about.
It's all they care about. And this is a great moment. Remember when Bill Clinton had his Sister Souljah moment? This is a great Sister Souljah moment where Joe Biden comes out, Chuck Schumer comes out, says, we don't want your vote. Get out of here.
He talked abortion yesterday. Yeah. He didn't bring up the main issue, just blanketing this country. Lawrence, what are you seeing in Wisconsin?
Well, you know, Brian, when October 7th first happened, I was going to all these campuses asking these young people, you know, do you condemn what happened? Do you understand what happened? And a lot of them denied what happened there. Well, we scaled back our coverage on it because they have all these group chats, and then they know who you are, and then they have these event organizers that refuse to talk to you. And then they tell all the other students, don't talk to the press, don't talk to the press. Well, we were in Wisconsin, and we found a university that was hosting this cell, this program.
Bro, I fucking love when they get so butt mad that the students outsmarted them. They get so fucking hurt. They're like, we couldn't go in there and be fucking dickheads and misconstrue what they're fucking saying. Oh my God, you called it? Rockefeller and Soros grants are subsidizing those who disrupt college campuses. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's so funny. Oh, they're doing it. Oh, I love that. That's so dope. Yeah. Listen, guys. You know who's behind these anti-Semitic, anti-Israel protests? Shadowy Jews. That's who. That's right. Jews with their puppet strings controlling the protests. We're doing it. We're fucking combating anti-Semitism. One Jew at a time. Bro, I said this as a joke. Come on, dude. I can't believe, I'm sure the article probably says like, oh, they don't even know that this is happening, but like it is. That's so funny, dude. Anytime I make a fucking random meme, it just like becomes reality. Regarding Israeli youth, Israeli society's post 9/11 24/7. On October 7th, turbocharged that. There are leftist groups like Free Jerusalem, looking the occupation in the eyes, along with less radical groups like Standing Together, Ombim Be'achad. These give me some faint hope, but Israel isn't moving any further left after this. This bubble is too strong. Israeli young people are the most right-wing demographic in Israel, mostly due to the second intifada. Can you meme about the Pirates winning the World Series? Never. There's an op-ed, bro, an opinion piece. Not sure this means anything. I know. I don't think that this is like a fucking full-blown written article. It doesn't matter, though. In my opinion, at the top of the hour, you shouldn't be trying to bait me like that. Okay? You shouldn't. Can't you predict some good ones? No, I can't. Because good things simply don't happen. I wasn't baiting. I was being serious. No, of course there's an op-ed piece. I'm not saying this is hard journalism. I'm simply stating, as I did yesterday, that there is inevitably going to be a dude who says, you know who's behind these, you know who's behind the Jew hatred? A Jew. Like, inevitably, they're going to do that. No matter what happens. I said they are 100% going to opine, or I mean, I didn't even say 100%. I just said, like, as a joke, that they are going to opine that it's actually Jews who control the anti-Semitic protests. That's right. Even at the top of the hour, you can control your own destiny by subscribing for $5 or for free, and you will no longer see the ads at the top of the hour. Here's a 3-minute ad break now.
Pro-Palestinian cell to send money to Gaza. You would be surprised what some of these young people said. Let's watch.
Don't we shout anti-Zionist? I think it's a good description against globalist genocidal Zionists. No, I don't think that I mean, I haven't looked into this article, but judging by everything I do know about Soros and like the Soros Foundation, like open societies, whatever, and all the money that they dump into like liberal progressive causes, I suspect that some of them have inevitably made their way into the current actually progressive movement, regardless of what George Soros's perspective might be. I think that they are like, that's probably what the argument they're making is, which is that like inadvertently these progressive funded groups are helping out the pro-Palestinian cause. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know this. I'm not exactly a fan of George Soros. However, having said that, it is pretty funny when people are like, yeah, that's right, the shadowy puppet master. The shadowy puppet master, George Soros, is the leading advocate for progressive causes in America that's destroying this country by making it multicultural. You know what I mean? You know, those sneaky Jews are doing multiculturalism and doing open borders is not exactly a new idea. That's exactly the same shit the Nazis said. It's literally the same exact shit. Yeah, I'm not exactly fond of George Soros, who I think is a, currency trader, billionaire, and not exactly a good dude. He's a billionaire after all. But that doesn't mean he was like responsible personally for the Holocaust or whatever some fucking unhinged shit that these people say when he was literally like 12 or 13 when his fucking family members are getting fucking sent to concentration camps. It is absolutely ridiculous that people say unimaginable, unhinged ass bullshit. Not a good dude, but that's ridiculous. It's also pretty crazy when it's also pretty crazy when people talk about how like he is he's this woke, shadowy Jewish figure behind closed doors that is manipulating the world into being woke and destroying Western civilization. That is just simply Nazi propaganda. That's it. It's just like unfiltered, unvarnished Nazi bullshit. Yeah. Soros funds an insane range of programs and think tanks. He has a specific brand of neoliberalism that he likes, and hundreds of liberal programs propagate that ideology. If you've ever done volunteer work for Dems, you've probably taken advantage of a tiny sliver of Soros bucks. Yeah. He's also far from like the most active political operative. Like there are still, like, he's a billionaire. This is what billionaires do, man. This is all they do. That's how they make money. That's how they fucking operate.
We're here to really advocate for Palestinians, for Gaza. We're advocating, honestly, for just humanity.
There's also a lot more casualty on the Palestinian side than there is on the Israeli side. And I'm not trying to like compare the sides, but a lot of people are like, oh my God, October 7th. But like, no, this is since 1948.
If you really look at what's going on in Gaza, you can see it's just really inhumane.
People are saying, well, but what about the...
If this is the worst answer that they could find from a bunch of nervous, like, 18-year-olds, then holy shit, dude.
Jewish community that is under attack as well. The women that were raped, the kids that were put into ovens.
Wait, I thought that was...
It was not. The UN came out with a report.
That was...
No, they didn't. The UN did not come out with a report where Jewish babies were placed in ovens, you fucking animal. You goddamn stupid, bloodthirsty monster. Shut the fuck up. Why are you lying to 18-year-olds and also your stupid fucking audience of monstrous pieces of shit? He's literally lying to them. He's lying to them and just, we're reporting it as though it's objectively true. Fuck!
Denied. Was that not denied? I believe it was. I believe it was.
It actually happened.
I believe it. I thought that was denied.
And I've talked with some of the
I don't know the resources.
as well.
I don't know the resource. But like I said, we're not here to condone any.
No.
Like, we're not here for violence at all.
You feel like that you could separate the two and you say, hey, let's just talk about the humanitarian aspect of it without talking about the larger conversation of Hamas using the people that you care about, I care about as human shields.
You
like,
care
does that
about people in
concern
Palestine?
It does
Fucking doubt
concern me.
it.
It does. It's actually really unfortunate, and we're not, you know, we don't look highly at that at all. Because you got to understand, you're all talking about Hamas this, Hamas this. We're talking about the civilians.
Because that's where it started.
But we're talking about this. But we're talking about right now.
Let me tell you something, guys. If we can't even meet at a common ground that women were raped and children were put into ovens in Israel.
Well, they need to see the video, Lawrence.
Then we can't have a conversation.
They need to see the video. There's
we can't
video.
even
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I need to see the video, dumb fuck. Show me the goddamn video, you stupid fucking piece of shit. Where's the fucking video? Oh, yeah, that's right. There is no video. It's been 7 fucking months. How the fuck are these jackals still running this fucking narrative? Now, the other part of this story, and that is perhaps even more frustrating. Well, no, this is the most frustrating aspect of it, is that they're just lying. But the reality is, even if that did happen, which it did not, by the way, even if that did happen, that still doesn't justify Israel's reaction, dumb fuck. The fuck do you mean, dude? Oh, sorry, babies were thrown in ovens, so we have to literally turn Gaza into a fucking oven? What are you saying? Animals, all of them. Animals. Hayvan ola hayvan. It's crazy.
This. Do they need this? The whole country needs to see it?
They're denying that it happened. They're saying that it was propaganda. And this is the same thing that we experienced when I went to the campuses after.
Bro's literally doing propaganda, lying about it, getting upset that it didn't work. Like, how do you fucking fail at owning 2 18-year-olds, dude? Like, you went up to 2 18-year-olds that were silly enough to talk to you because they're young, and then you fucking still failed. Like, at least I owned the Israeli child, even though I wasn't trying to. You know what I mean? I was trying to have a normal conversation with him. It's so funny watching fucking Divorcelli's fans trying to be like, oh, Hassan only fucking owns like 15-year-olds because he can't talk to anybody else. While simultaneously, like, their debate daddy has literally debated 15-year-old MAGA supporters and people like that over and over again. Not realizing that that is what he did all the time and still does.
October 7th is that they're under this impression that this does not happen. Then I said, look, listen, if you guys care about the people on the ground so much, why not take on Hamas? Well, they should release the hostages on their side. I go, what are you talking about? Hostages in Israel? You mean the people that are part of a terror organization that have been convicted? You want us to release?
I hate him. I hate all of them, dude. I really do. Also, you're going viral for yelling at Piers Morgan and other adults. I fucking hate every single one of these dumb motherfuckers. Hostages? You mean terrorists? It's like, yeah, dude. Listen, big dog. You're not fucking Israeli. You didn't grow up in Tel Aviv your whole life with like ultra Zionist parents. Where the fuck is this energy coming from? I feel like they're faking it. You know what I mean? Yeah, dude, the fucking 14-year-old child captured in the West Bank and placed under military detention indefinitely. That terrorist. The 12-year-old Palestinian child in the West Bank. That terrorist. Oh, I can't tell if they're just like such rabid fascist sympathizers that they just see fascism and they're like, we have to defend it, or what it is.
Release them. You're putting them on the same scale
well, several
of the
things.
innocent civilians.
If you're paying to go to college, you should be able to go to college and feel safe on campus. And if you're going to protest, you need to know what this protest is about. Yesterday, Sarah Carter was on Sean Hannity's show last night, and I was watching it, and she went into the protesters and said, you keep yelling from the river to the sea. Which river? Which sea? And the girl couldn't answer. Sarah had to tell her. And then
fucking own, dude. Fucking own.
Someone else was in the crowd denying everything that happened in Israel. We all did see the video. At Fox, we had the opportunity. The Israeli government came in and showed us the video of Hamas with their body cameras on and going into people's houses, innocent houses, killing the parents in front of the kids. There's that one video that I can't get out of my mind of the little boys covered in blood. Their dad is dead. The mom comes home from work, and they killed the dad right in front. He ran in.
One of the funniest aspects, Innocent House, is one of the funniest aspects of that conversation that was very illuminating with the Israeli teenager was when he literally kept repeating, because it's so fucking like Israeli to just be like, no, we are so strong. We are so strong. You don't understand. When I was talking about like the kibbutzim, like Hamas attacking the kibbutzim that were unguarded, it was like, no, you don't understand. They are guarded. They all have guns. They are the most guarded. They all have guns. And it was so odd. It's like, okay, so was it valid to fucking kill the people in the kibbutzim then? Like, what do you mean? Like, he kept repeating, because a lot of Israeli sentiment is about projecting strength, that he could not cope with the reality that, like, the kibbutzim that I saw, at least, did look pretty fucking weak. Like, it didn't look like there were fortified military positions inside of them. And there wasn't. But because, like, again, Israeli culture dictates that you have to present yourself as a fascist strongman, he's like, no, you don't understand. They were fortified. Okay, so then it was a valid target then. Like, what is it? He kept saying it's like a fucking military base.
Damn, this guy's good.